Hello, 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 good people. Hello, good people. You've reached a conversation. You've reached the Kevin Samuels conversation, to be exact. I'm your boy, Steve Lewis. That is B Reveals. And we got Black Ice and we got Akis in the house.
Yo, what's up?
What's up,
What
y'all?
up? What up?
B. Tell them, let them know a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself. Well, I'm a little
Yeah,
bit of an agitator, just like your boy, like the guy we're about to really kind of just go in a little bit tonight.
right.
Actually, first of all, thank you for having me on tonight. I just wrapped my first season of the Brian Reveal Show, 10 episodes. I
Congratulations,
just
bro.
thank you,
All
thank you,
right.
thank you. I just finished last week, and it was a labor of love. I did very well my first season, so I got to say, it's more to come. Working on some things in the summer with a fresh approach in the fall. So y'all get ready for that.
All
Cool, cool.
right.
Okay,
All right.
congrats.
Sounds good, man. Congrats,
Thank you.
brother.
And Black Ice and Akis, man, say hello to the people. And but look, before you guys do that, we want y'all to share. We want y'all to
Hmm.
share this post, share this live because we're gonna be talking about something really, really important. But we're gonna send it off to Black Ice. What's happening?
Going
Uh,
on, man? Yo, we the Black Narrative on Black Ice,
And
and
I'm a Keith.
and basically, we're B1 broadcast, and we stream every Tuesday and Thursday night to BlackNarrative.tv. We on YouTube, and we cover a lot of uncomfortable conversations within our community, and
Right.
give different perspectives that you may not like,
But
you
we,
may like.
but hey, we come with receipts.
But we come, if you show our receipts, where we coming from.
Exactly.
Now tonight, we probably just gonna be petty, but I don't give
Hey, sometimes you gotta let loose in that court.
well, hey, petty is the thing, man. That's what's going these days. So let's get into the conversation, man. We are going to have a hopefully a productive conversation about the man, the myth, the legend. By now, they call him the Godfather, Kevin Samuels.
Hmm.
We are going to talk about Kevin Samuels. We got a lot of people upset, man. I mean, can we just be honest? A lot of people are upset. I think that he's upset the apple cart. He's turned over a lot of ways of thinking. He's changing a lot of minds, and he's hardening a lot of hearts. Also on the other end, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, is that a good thing that he's opening these things up, these conversations up, or is that a bad thing? Is he messing up? Is he downing black women?
Hmm.
Is he? Because
Well,
that's all I've been hearing all week, bro. That is all I've been hearing. Kevin Samuels, the woman hater. That's I've been hearing that all week. I've been
Hmm.
Yeah.
hearing it all week long. So I mean, that's what we're gonna talk about. So let's kind of give it a preliminary introduction. Bville, what do you know about Kevin Samuels, and give us your experience.
oh wow! I think I probably found out about this brother like a lot of people. I was one of the people who saw that clip that went live. Right, he gave that woman a
Average at
low
best.
average rating. Right.
We are going to play
Personally,
that.
I didn't see anything wrong with what he said on that particular note. Because she rated herself like an 8 or a 9. The thing about it is that if she would have asked me the same question, I probably would have put it back on her like he did, because he always asks women, "How would you rate yourself?" And
Mhm.
they give him an answer, and then he comes back and says, "Well, this is what you really are as an image consultant." But me personally, I gotta say, that was kind of when I started to pay attention. And I'm not a sensationalist. I like to do my homework and research, just like any reasonably thinking person. So I went
Right.
back. I kind of checked the brother out because I was hearing all these other things. I went to the YouTube, Instagram, all of these instruments that we have. And I kind of paid attention because I was like, okay, this is really kind of nuanced. And this is kind of the shit that I say myself.
Right.
So
Right.
let me go do a little homework. And I've been kind of following the brother ever since. And I got to say, just like you said, he's revolutionized, or has been a revolutionary in this space, I should say.
Right.
And,
Right.
shout out to him.
Bro. I mean, a lot of people mad, bro. A
Mm.
lot of people are mad. A lot of people say he's extra petty. So I mean, we're gonna get into it. All right, Black Ice and Akis. Hey, Keys, tell us what your experience with Kevin Samuels.
Well, shoot. To start, I mean, here's the thing with different characters. There's always nuance, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
And with Kevin Samuels, a lot of stuff that he does say is true. You know, it is one of those things where you do have to be humble as he does push a certain realism amongst women, but it's one of those things where you don't the
I feel
same
like
way.
he just touching the surface though. But I
Yeah,
feel like the things he's saying. I guess we're intelligent brothers, so I don't feel like anything's really mind blowing because this is probably some kind of conversation we already may have had.
right.
You
Well,
know,
I mean, let me interject. Kevin says himself that these are conversations that men been having in the barbershop for almost half a century.
True.
You know,
Mm.
so it's nothing new under the sun. These are things that doesn't shock us. Most men, what Kevin says is not shocking.
Mhm.
It is not shocking at all. I will tell you who is shocked by it. The women are shocked.
Right.
All right.
They are shocked.
yeah, it is. Yeah, when you put it that way, I do agree. 'Cause I would hear a lot of what he says in the barbershop, and but I guess from my point of view personally, like I seen some of the women he talked to on the program, and I was like, those women I wouldn't talk to myself, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because most of the ones he calling in, at least from what I've seen, like they're like I guess the real pretty shallow types, and and then I guess that's his what make it so entertaining because he
That's
putting
his,
that.
demographic.
You're right. He putting them in their place, so to speak, and
Mhm.
like, let them know like, yo, you're really shallow. You're not as smart as you think you are, type of thing, and so it's like, but I see it as a form of entertainment. If it's supposed to be entertained by it, it's cool. I guess for some men, not saying y'all, but I have seen a lot of men thinking he just mind blowing, this deep philosopher type guy, and I'm like, now what he's saying that deep, it's just common sense in a sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Man, but you know there's an old trope that says common sense ain't that common these
it's not.
days.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I think these are things that we know, but bro,
Mhm.
I've seen people that are really blown away. Man, I don't want to down like I don't really want to what's the word? I don't want to like make light of the some of the things that he's been saying, like as opposed to a Derek Jackson who's been letting people
Mm.
go without any accountability, right?
Mhm.
So if when you start making people accountable and holding them accountable, it it's a hard pill to have to swallow. That's for me. That's for anybody. Like when you have to. We talked about this in Brian's post maybe a couple of days ago about being accountable and being able to stand correction. Like if you're able to stand correction, I think that's like a test of who you are as a person. If somebody can say, "Hey, bro, you're doing that wrong, man," and you say, "I understand that I'm doing that wrong, man, and I'm gonna make a difference." But I yeah.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
man, but what you're saying is it's almost like the definition of feminism, of today's feminism, rather, where it allows women to do what they want but not be held accountable. And I can see to your point why some people may be rubbed the wrong way because, in some sense, he kind of, some of the videos he kind of holds them accountable, and they're not used to being held accountable in that way.
Yeah. One thing I will say because I'm not a big proponent or a big pusher of grandfathering too many people. You got to be careful who you kind of idolize and who you look up to. You got to
That's my other
kind
thing
of go
too.
into the
Yeah, that's my other
background
thing too.
Yeah.
Black people have a bad habit of putting people on the pedestal too
Yeah.
fast, too soon, and then
Right.
that one thing comes up, now you're looking stupid.
because one thing that I will say is there's a lot of parallels between MGTOW or the red pill and feminism. You know what I mean? I
Okay,
really,
you mentioned MGTOW. You might be taking some people fast. You gonna have to tell
Right.
the people what
So I'm like,
MGTOW means.
who are these people? Now, Reverend are like, no, Midtown, you're taking me too far.
MGTOW is the granddaddy of them all, I would say.
Yeah.
But tell the people what MGTOW is.
well, MGTOW is men going their own way. It's a movement
Okay.
of men who basically, it's supposed to be a philosophy. You know what I mean? But just like how feminism is supposed to be a philosophy, you have these two parallels. You know what I mean? So I'm going to describe them as two sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
You have feminism, which was the white woman's movement against the black men. You got MGTOW, which was the white man's movement against the white women. And then you see how it disseminated down into our community. So now our black women are taking on to the philosophies of feminism, and our black men are taking on to the philosophies of MGTOW.
Bro,
Now,
that is an amazing point, man. I never thought about it like that.
right.
I never thought about it like that.
That's why I don't. When I look at people like Kevin Samuels, he's too one-sided. Now I hear those MGTOW men that talk about, well, he talks to the brothers too. He talks to the brothers too. He's making his money at the end of the day because he's berating these women. And
is it berating or criticism?
Dude, I can't agree with that, man.
It's both. No, it's both at times, and not to say that what he's saying is.
I ain't like so close. It's both. I seen both.
I've seen both.
Okay, guys. All right, so let's. All right, so Brian mentioned a video that popped all of this whole thing off. It was during the pandemic. Everybody was sitting. I'm just setting the scene. Everybody was sitting at home, and this video came up. It went viral. It turned up on Worldstar. It turned up on many popular blogs, and so it's called Average at Best. Let's check it out. I'm gonna start it. I had some notes when it started getting good. All right, 3:30 is when it started getting really good. All right, so we're gonna go with 3:30. All right, here we go.
What kind of men are you dating?
I try to give guys that not up a chance.
You try to do what?
I try to give guys that's not on my level a chance.
Why? What do you mean on your level? What does that mean?
That's making 6 figures or more.
But I don't okay. You try to give guys who are not on your level a chance. Why?
And because I honestly want a 6-figure guy. Is what I'm realizing.
Okay. So let me just go ahead and net it out for you. You ready?
Uh-huh.
The guys you want aren't asking you out.
Well, I haven't been putting myself out there, honestly.
But you put yourself out there.
Okay, I want to stop it right there.
Please.
All right. So, because it's starting to get painful, bro. It's gonna go get a whole lot more painful. But I wanted to make a note that was the first time that he told her that maybe the guys that you want don't want you. Let's just make a note of that. That was number one. That was number one.
Yeah.
That was number one. All right, we let's continue.
They're enough for the guys you don't want or beneath you to ask you out.
Those are like guys I met online.
Right. So again, the men you want are not asking you out. See, you ladies do this.
Okay, that is number 2 that she did not respond to. Okay, let's keep moving. I just want to make that.
You go and deal with men who you feel are beneath you, and then you ask how to fix them. I'm not beneath you. I don't know how to fix a guy that's down there. That's not my concern. The better question is, why can't you get a guy on your level? That's the real question. Well, the first thing. Well, first of all, I would tell you what I said in here automatically is a problem. Why you would come onto a show that you know is a disagreement day? It's selfish. It's like, well, yes, ma'am. It's like, I want what I want. I don't say things for no reason. That's why I asked you questions. You're 35 years old, a business owner. That means you understand what business is, and you know this is a business. And I have a show title. And you said, "Damn your show title, I want to talk to you." But you could have went to my business and booked time to talk to me, but you wanted what you wanted, how you wanted.
I'm sorry.
No, and I'm using this as a lesson. That's the problem with too many of you black women. You don't do shit the right way with black men. That was improper. And when I told you the right way, you still were like, well, whatever. So I'm gonna use this. When was the last time you had a relationship?
Like the end of last year around December.
How long did it last?
A year.
A year. And was that man?
Okay, guys. There's anybody? It looks like I may be frozen, but I don't know. We'll keep going. All right. So does anybody see any? Did he berate? Has he berated her yet?
No.
I'm just asking.
Nope, he did not. But okay, from my perspective, but you know, I think where the trigger came in at is when he made it about race, and two things: race and gender. When he said the problem is with you black women, black women immediately stopped listening from that. The ones who were triggered, they stopped listening.
Okay.
Oh shit, you might you know how it goes. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why they couldn't hear it from a different perspective, because they didn't hear anything else.
But I mean, another thing that I noticed earlier when he was talking, when he brought up the whole thing about men that are below her level, and this is what I bring up when I talk about people in, I guess, the red pill, the MGTOW community. He said that he doesn't know how to fix those men that are below her level. So if you as a man don't know how to fix other men, then, you know, how much merit can I give to you just pointing out the obvious with these baby mamas and, you know, hood rats? You know,
I don't know if I can go ahead, Black Guys.
That's how I feel. I feel like his broadcast is sitting around pointing out the obvious, at least obvious to us anyway.
right.
You know,
Dude,
but
I keep saying,
Exactly.
I keep saying the obvious ain't obvious. I mean, my point is that, man, I just don't feel like, okay, he said something to her that was profound, that obviously she called the show looking for answers and she glossed right over it.
Well,
And
I mean, a lot of
so
things
he said, what he said was, obviously the men that you want don't want you. He's going to say it again. He's going to say it several more times, and each time it's going to escalate. Like it's going to be a little bit more, like, to get you to understand. And men, we are problem solvers, right? We are problem solvers. We understand, like, if there's a problem, then we're going to do X, Y, Z to fix it. So if somebody's if we're not attracting women, then we got to find out why we're not attracting women. We're not going to play the game like, I don't know why the women don't like me. We're not going to play that game. And so I just feel like, sometimes, even though women are in their feminine, you know, they're in their feminine, they have to realize that sometimes you got to understand that some logic has to be used to actually get the problem solved. If you're calling into a show, that means you're at the bottom of the barrel. That means you're at your wit's end. You're putting yourself at risk to call on a show because you're not finding love.
Okay, so once he called out the problem, then did he tell her the solution as well?
Well, I mean, we're about to see.
About to get to
see.
Okay.
We'll get to it. We'll get to
One
it.
thing I do want to touch
Yeah.
on,
You go
because
ahead.
it's one of those things, like, for instance, in marketing, you have your sample. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you have a certain audience, you know that like, one thing, statistics is the highest form of lying. So you can go and find a sample of, you know, when it says 9 to 10 dentists recommend this. they probably really did go to 10 dentists and pay 9 of them. So it's one of those things where when you have a sample of people and you get a certain response, it's not going to be indicative of the whole. That's how I feel when you look at who Kevin Samuel is talking to, because with for instance, when it comes to the whole thing of, you know, common sense not being that common, I don't really expect a lot of these chicks that are on Instagram that are calling into a show on Instagram Live, part of it to be for the cloud, to be seen, this, and the third. I don't expect that sample to have that common sense. And also, you got to think about the mindset of this sample size. You got to think about inflated egos. They're on social media. Look, if a chick is on social media and she looks good and she has enough followers, you already know what them DMs is looking like. So you already know the ego, the mind is getting filled up. So I don't think that the sample size that he's dealing with is going to be indicative of black women on a whole. And of course, look, black men and black women, we have a shit ton of problems on each side. We got a shit ton of problems, and boy, we could be here all day going down a list of problems that black women got, as well as black men. You know what I mean?
So here's where I differ with your opinion on that. So what Kevin is saying identifies with too many men. Too many men. How do you account for the amount of men that I just like plain identify with what he's saying and saying, yes, that's true. Yes, that's true. So I'm not saying. So I'm saying it couldn't be a fluke. It can't be a small sample size as you said, because it's too many people identifying, men and women. Now, mostly men, but there are a certain amount of women out there that said, this is what I've been saying to women in my clan, and hopefully they're listening. There are women that are saying to women that they know what Kevin's saying, and telling those women, don't listen to anybody else out there. Listen to me.
Yeah, that's
listen to what I'm telling you, because this is the right way, and it's identifying with men. What Kevin says is he asks women, when are you going to start listening to what men want? If you want a high value man, right? If you want a man of substance, when are you going to start understanding what that man of substance wants? And from a potential wife.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't really deny any man's experiences, because I mean, these experiences are true experiences that are going on. But when I brought up the whole thing about the sample, I'm talking about as far as on display level, as far as the sample that he's displaying in his videos, you know.
Right.
They're not going to be. Yeah. It's more of a specific. That's what I'm saying. Of course, you got a lot of what's called black women that won't heed to this kind of information, that won't take it as obvious, you know, of course. But I'm talking about as far as on the entertainment level, that sample size that he's taken, and it's almost like a effigy, you know, where people are building up this figure of every woman that heard him, every black woman that heard him, and they're looking at her, and she represents that.
Well, maybe they see themselves in her.
Both.
Maybe they see, because like she says she's a 6-figure woman, and a lot of women either they are. I mean, black women are really doing it like big right now. They're making the 6 figures. They're doing what they're doing. So a lot of women do see themselves in her, but they say that they can't seem to find a man, which is so interesting, because on one token they see themselves in her. They're offended about what he's saying, but on the other end of the token, they're saying, well, I don't want to get married. Don't nobody need a man. Well, why are you so upset with what he's saying? If the narrative doesn't apply to you, you can't say the sisterhood thing, because instead of going after him, y'all would have went to that sister and see if y'all could help her. You don't see that happening. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
there's a certain hypocrisy that I think that hopefully we get into, because I'm ready to let's expose
Yeah, man.
that
I mean, it's definitely a disconnect. It's it's hard to put a finger on exactly. And I think it comes down to what they feel about tone. But let's finish the video out. It's he's gonna really get into something at 9. Let's see. I got some notes. At about 9:40 is when Kevin it's gonna start getting interesting.
Who make the kind of money you're talking about have options.
Oh, okay.
And
let's go back.
Typically, they don't want to.
Yes.
How many?
I have a son now, so
How old is your son?
he's 13.
Where's the father?
He's not enough in his life.
I didn't
Well,
ask that. I said, where's the father?
Well, he's not like in it like I would like him to be.
Oh my God!
All right,
That's
so,
a question.
Go ahead and take this down, ma'am. Men who make the kind of money you're talking about have options, and typically they don't want to deal with women who have 13-year-old sons who are used to dating men who. This doesn't sound appealing to the kind of man you're talking about. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I was thinking once I start booking session with you that
I can't change men.
I know, but I can approve myself, and I feel like I have a lot to offer to those type of men.
Okay, but see, you should have stopped right there. I just told you I cannot change men, and you said once I book a session with you, I'm not a miracle worker. I'm telling you what they want. And you're still saying, yeah, but I want them. They don't want you.
But I have been working on myself this year and booking your.
Okay, ma'am, but okay. 35, 13-year-old son with a sketchy father. Why would a man?
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It's rough. Very rough.
It's getting tough. I mean, because it's like he explained to her what now twice, and it's almost like she's pleading with him because he doesn't understand. Well, she doesn't understand. No, because of her position, right? She says she's 6 figures. According to her, she's in a power play position, but she's calling him for help when he's saying no, that's not going to get it. So when things escalate, and I'm guilty of that too. I'm not patient like that when I've told you no. And see, for me, I get it. Some people will sit there and do the back and forth game with you, especially when you're calling my show. When I say, nope, that's it. We're going to go to the next caller. That's it. He'll give you a little bit. He'll give you a little bit more. But when you call somebody else's platform and then they tell you, no, you got to learn how to listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she thought it was just, some basement level operation, but people who are putting real effort and focus into their platform, they want to treat it like a real production. And I don't think you got people who understand that. So they're going to do the back and forth. And then here's what happened.
That was like number 4, bro.
Yeah,
bro, that was hard to listen to, man. That was very hard to listen to.
When you come at it on that,
I mean,
at the end of the day,
oh my god,
they need to run. So when you
like
come
guys,
at it on that angle,
what you say, Marquise?
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying when you come at it on that angle, I mean, he does have a production to run. I mean, and he's gonna act accordingly when he has a caller that he doesn't think he could bear any fruit from. Then it's one of those things where you're
Marquise, man. We got to keep in mind that he did. Remember, if we listen to the first part, he told her, "This is not the night for what you're trying to do." Now, good sense should have told her, "I'm sorry, Kevin. Let me go ahead and get out so you can continue with your agenda for your show."
Right?
No, she kept barreling ahead.
Try to milk it. She tried to milk it for all it was worth.
Yeah,
and it got ugly. This ain't even as ugly as it's gonna get. Like, but she's like, bro, she's like, but I'm working on myself this year.
Yeah, crazy, man.
Oh, madam.
And if it's one thing, you know, men of a particular, as he puts it, high value, you're not going back and forth with you. And it's not. And if that's an indication of how she is and outside of a show, nah, I see why she's single.
I mean,
that's harsh, but
I mean, but it's the truth. Would you want to go back and forth with somebody like that?
I mean,
no, indeed.
Oh, well, there we go. I'm not alone.
Baby daddy. There's many factors that come to her being single. The age.
Yeah, the age, and she couldn't answer the questions directly either.
Right.
Like the question was too vague.
Yeah, you mentioned that. He asked her like very clear and concise questions, and she would not.
To dodge them.
Yeah.
She was like,
that's honestly kind of a sign of somebody who's somebody
Challenged.
who can't, not challenged, but somebody who's deceived.
Challenged.
B want to talk about it. Let's get into it, B. B say B's theory is that everybody that calls in got a little something.
A few
Going
screws
on.
loose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be
Do y'all
real,
really believe? Y'all believe that?
Absolutely.
That's
Hell yeah.
That's why I brought up that point about the whole thing with the sample size.
Yeah.
A lot of them got problems. I mean, even what you brought up, Steve, about when it came to her still being on the show after Kevin Samuel said, "Oh, this isn't a night," and she's still being there. She wants to be seen. She just wants to be seen.
You know, that's another thing too, because most people that call in, they want to be seen. They don't want answers.
Yeah.
And then Kevin's the type of guy that he is exposed to problems, but he don't exactly give. I mean, I guess he's trying to get an answer through him pouring out the problem, but to me, I guess the way he communicates it it's not clear.
And
He implies it.
like,
We're not telling them like
Exactly. No. I think. Well, I think that Kevin could benefit from giving real world answers, but I think he's human. So I think what has happened is he's given that answer so many times that it's like, go watch the 500 videos that I got on femininity, being agreeable with a man, and being like being his helper. And you will easily find all of the answers you're looking for. But I don't know what you want. If you don't want to do the work to find out, the man has done many shows on what women should be and what women should do in order to secure themselves a high value man. First of all, you want to get in the gym. You definitely want to do that. So if you're fit, feminine, and agreeable, cooperative, agreeable, both. A high value man will come get you. Fellas, we know that, don't we?
right.
Yeah.
A fit woman, a fit woman who's agreeable, they will find you. I don't know why that message goes right over people's head. I cannot fathom it, but it's really simple.
Okay,
What
Steve,
say you, B?
Steve, I got one question. So I'm getting a text saying, are the comments on? Because people are trying to comment.
Man, the comments should be on. Shoot.
look, he trying to censor his viewers.
Oh, come on.
Oh, bro, I ain't trying to do that to y'all. Wait a minute, y'all.
Okay, yeah.
You try to fact check, brother.
What's going on now?
Okay, so I'm gonna text and say that you just turned on the comments. So
Okay, great. I
Okay.
didn't know they were off. My bad, people. We not trying to censor y'all. Bring them on.
But you want the smoke?
I want all the smoke.
That is funny.
But one thing that I do want to say, if Kevin Samuel, they could go back and look on the shows that he did in the past, but if they didn't come for answers, he wouldn't have a show. He needs them for a show.
it wouldn't be as. I don't think it would be as entertaining. You're right. I think the people make the show, because I get what he's saying. The brother has a lot of gems, and I gotta say, I have some level of similarity. I'll say that based on who he qualifies as who. And I gotta say, even in that lane, there is so much that I've learned from this brother just listening to him. interact with people. I listen to the show objectively. I'm not watching as no goddamn fan at 40 years old.
Right.
But I look,
Right.
I'm looking at it objectively, and I gotta say, I have learned so much from watching the show, how I should move, what I should look out for, like little things like that but just kind of hearing it phrased a certain way. Because I come from the school of like Dick Gregory and people like that.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Paul
Yeah.
Mooney, those guys. So I like tough talk, and I like people to just give it to you how it is. So I kind of, what he says and how he says it resonates with me.
Yeah.
Now, based off what you said, which because I know that's who you are. So based on who you are, the people that call in, are they your type?
No.
Is that what I'm saying? So a show like that.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful, black guys. You got to be careful when you say that, because while the people that call in are a certain demographic of people we said was missing something, the fact still remains that the relationship in our black society is broken. The relationships, there is a problem. So what I'm saying is, since we know that there is a problem, and we know that people are only crazy enough to call in, it still doesn't negate that something has to be real world solutions have to be come up with. And I think Kevin's approach has changed the paradigm in so to speak, in the way we look at things, and the way men look at things, and the way that women should look at things. But I just wanted to say that. But go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like his broadcast is an entertaining show that exposes problems, but don't really provide a lot of solution talk.
It's a conversation. It does really spark a conversation, but does it? Here's the problem with the black community: we don't have empathy for each other. And when I say for each other, I'm not just talking about black men don't have empathy for black women and vice versa. I'm saying we don't have empathy for each other individually.
But we really don't have a dog in this race. Can you think about it? Like Steve was saying, all the people you see arguing about this show is a 40-year-old man who do look up to him. They're real fans that try to live by his every word.
Yeah.
So they bickering with women that's not your type. So it's like for us, we all I think the four of us are on the outside looking in, like, oh man, look at this shit show.
Yeah.
Bro, I just can't. I can't agree, man. I don't know everybody's relationship situation right now, but I can tell you, as a single man who's I mean, I hate to put my business out here, but it's a show. But who's run through them? I can tell you what's out here, bro. I can tell you that the state of the situation is not good. It's not good. And it's really not good. So I mean, I can say that there's a problem with. Okay, let's talk about this aspect, and we'll get into it a little later when I play a little more of the video. It's about women being able. Man, this is not a bashing thing, but what do y'all think about the fact that he has them rate themselves?
I mean, with them, I mean, it goes to show, or it's a good example to see where their head is at and where their ego is at compared to the actual physical reality. Because I mean, you'd be surprised how much people delude themselves.
I am not surprised, but I was surprised.
Here's my thing, man. These are the people that call in. These are shallow people who want shallow relationships.
Bro, I keep telling you that this is not indicative of people that just call in. I am telling you that this is indicative of just about every woman I run into. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not jaded.
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
No. Let's process this then. Let's process. You just said a lot now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But he's saying from his experience.
I'm saying from my experience, and I want everybody to understand, man. Everybody wants to say that people who are fans of Kevin Samuels, which I am a fan. People are people who are like they said that they're basically incels, or people that don't get women, or people that's in their mama's basement, or people that's not attractive, or people. I'm telling you, bro. I mean, I do well with women. I'm good, but I'm telling you that the things that I observe as a person that's in here, that's in the circle, bro, you would not believe.
But you just said something very important that I never caught before, though.
Okay, go ahead.
And you saying you can relate because most of the women that call in, those type of women you're attracting. So now the question is, why are you attracting those type of women?
Right.
Dude, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's not about the women that I'm attracting.
Come on, bring it out.
I am telling you, bro, it is not. If you have a if you have a conversation, with women, if you're able to have a conversation and sit down and talk to them, you will understand. Okay, let's not even use conversations. Let's use what we see on social media every day. Here's the thing. Why does every woman think that she is why is she taking pictures like she's a model? Why is she acting like a model? Why does every woman think that basically she's Beyonce or she's celebrity or something like that? I am telling you, bro, every woman, if you pay close attention to them, they all think that they're 9s or 10s. Believe what I'm saying.
What you're saying is not wrong, but it goes back to if you're attracting those type of women, though,
bro, use your eyes. It's not who I'm attracting.
You said that though.
No, it's not. No. I said that. No. It's not who I'm attracting.
Like my brother Brian said, social media ain't real.
Right.
So
it ain't real, and they ain't got sense enough to know that it ain't real. That's what I'm saying.
But you're using that as an example, Steve.
Right.
This is your example.
So exactly. It doesn't negate my example. I'm telling you that most women, if you would talk to them, have it in their minds that they are way more attractive than they really are. I'm just saying.
So the breakdown of ones you are attracting are the ones you're attracting on social media like that?
No, man. I'm telling you. Bro, I am telling you that if you open your eyes and start start having conversations that lead that way. If you just start having the conversations, right, with them, you'll understand that so you can't be so overt where you ask them like, "Where do you rate yourself?" That's Kevin Samuel stuff. But just have a casual conversation with them. What you would come to understand is they all think that they are very, 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 very high on the sexual marketplace. You will understand that. I'm telling you, it could be me, but I mean, I'm telling you, that's my opinion.
But see, so one more thing. So we're getting a couple of those people saying they're still not able to comment.
What?
Yeah.
What's going on? I think it's. Are they trying to comment on mine? Because y'all may have like
no, mine's public.
Share it again, and then.
Yep, I told people to go out, come back in. They're still not able to comment.
So share it again from when you share it, and ask them to comment on the new one that you share. It might be that.
Okay. All right, let's put Steve back in the hot seat here. It's getting good over here. I feel like you're making progress now. I do feel like you don't have to ask them, like you said. I'm glad you don't ask them how do you rate yourself on scale. Because I guarantee you, there are men who watch that show and they do that now.
You shouldn't do that. It's probably not. You're probably not going to get what you came there for. You're probably not going to be like very. It's probably not going to be a good conversation. If
she's going to quit and you be like,
but if you say that a lot of women you come across if you can relate to this show because of the women you come across are very similar to on that show. To me, you telling me you are attracting the type of women that's on that show. So now I'm wondering, like he said to her, why are you attracting that type? Because I know for me,
bro, if you really think that,
I'm just saying because I think we are in environments we work with women all the time, especially me, But I can guarantee you, if I can have one conversation with somebody like that, they're not gonna be attracted to me because okay, this dude's too smart.
Yeah.
Or they just like, okay, he's
there's a certain,
it's too deep.
There's
so, bro, it has nothing to do with you. I'm talking about you finding out, you ascertaining what they like, what's their, and I'm not talking about somebody having decent self-esteem, right? I'm not talking about somebody saying that I feel confident about myself. I'm not talking about confidence. I'm talking about saying, okay, so the woman at best, right? The woman that we were just looking at, the average at best lady.
That's her name.
That's what they call her. Like legit, that's what they call her. But the average at best lady, right? She like what I'm saying is that lady would tell you in all confidence. Like she was like, well, I would feel like I'm she already said it. She said that she was a 6, right? I mean, rating women, it is what it is, but we all do it. We all do it. So my point is that I would not have said that she was average. I would say she's probably a little below average. That's my that's my opinion.
Hard truth.
I mean, it is what it is. But what I'm saying is, my point is that while I feel that way, while a lot of people feel that way, she did not feel that way. What that causes is a problem. When you don't understand where you really stand, then you can't act accordingly. When you understand where, if I was in a class and I needed a 65 to pass and I'm at a 59, what good would it be for me to be thinking that I had a 63? It doesn't show me what I need to know about doing the work. It doesn't show me how deep I am in the hole. It doesn't show me how hard I need to work. It doesn't show me any of that. It just shows it's a delusion.
It's also indicative of their mindset because
I was about to say that because to me, because this from the get go, right?
Did they fix it?
No, it looks like I'm sorry to cut you guys off. It looks like they still can't they still can't comment. They still can't comment. But what about if we have, because I have someone who wants to come up, but she's not camera ready. So why don't you come up and just cam down?
Yeah, she don't have to. Yeah, she don't have to be cammed up.
Okay.
Cool. Just come on.
Yeah, I was saying that this is a fact that I don't
know what's going on.
With the top definition of a high value anyway, the first thing that coming into their mind was money from the get go. To me, that's a problem at the foundation right there for you even get into ratings or anything else.
And even when you brought up the whole point of like grading, if somebody has a 69, they can't act like they got a 90. But right. I said it's indicative of their mindset because they probably they're so self-centered to the point where or they don't think about their relation as far as compared to other people's, to the point where even when people do say things that confirm a certain reality, even though things occur that confirm a certain reality, they're not going to pay attention to that because of some kind of block in their mind that allows them to, honest to God, say that I am an 8 and really believe that, or heck, even I'm a 10.
Yeah, there's no wrong. There's no wrong with self-esteem. I think the problem is what the expectations are, and what they're looking for, and then but it seems like most of the ones that call in, the first thing they're looking for is money. Now, one of them, for what I've seen, and I haven't only seen but a few videos, but I have yet to see one call up and say the first thing they're looking for, is a leader or someone that can spiritually guide them or anything of that nature. The first thing coming to mind is 6 figures. You know, so to me, you already told you. So you already shown what your priorities are from the get go.
You're trying to get a lottery ticket.
And so the first thing you want is the money part. That way they forced to be play a trophy position where you like they gotta work out, they gotta look a certain way, because your whole foundation bet on shallowness from the get go.
So the whole thing is gonna be shallow.
Oh, okay, so I could go with that, but I mean, so are we saying that men aren't really looking at what a potential mate is looking like if she's healthy or
no, every man wants something different, but I think what comes down to my definition of high value is different from his.
That is true.
From Kevin's definition of high value, I really don't agree with his definition of high value.
And I mean, it is an interesting point you do bring up as far as, you know, we do look at how women.
Yeah, physical attractiveness is a priority,
but
yes.
But I say this to a lot of dudes. Every woman got ass and every woman got breasts. At the end of the day.
So it is one comment that I can see, fellas. It says, in terms of whether she, you know, whatever rating she is, it's that she's not that bad and her personality does play its part. She said, "You are fucking providers," and yes, that's what she's saying. Men should be providers. Now, according to Kevin is saying that the definition of what is considered to be a high value man is something that is universal, whether it's American, in China, wherever it is. It's everybody's definition. And so I guess after this, Stephen, can we get back to what the definition of that is? According to Kevin?
Of high value.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. So you want.
Let me finish my point right fast, because I was saying, like I'll tell dudes that every woman has breasts and every woman has ass. It's one of those things where when it comes to looks, it's not that hard to find a good looking chick at the end of the day. What's important is what's going on in that head, because what's going on in that head, and as well as in your head, is going to be indicative of how the whole relationship is going to work. You know what I mean? So when dudes just look at the physical, you're going to see a lot of beautiful women on a day-to-day. But
where do you live?
The problem is,
we in Atlanta though, so it's 21 out here. We can go outside. We go outside.
No, wait, B, why you asking where? Why you asking where you live?
I mean, if he says you can find a good looking woman everywhere, I think you got Brothers Blind plane tickets right now.
Wait, Brian, are you in Jackson?
Bro,
are you in Jackson, Brian?
I'm in Dallas.
Okay. Well, Dallas. Come on.
I mean, there's not good looking women in Dallas.
Yo,
wait a minute.
You all ready to play the video?
Bro. All right, go ahead. Wait.
Dallas is not Atlanta. Shout out to all of the beautiful sisters in Dallas, and I will say that there are a lot of beautiful women here. I'm like, for real, and I'm not trying to be modest. I'm not trying to just say this shit for the hell of it. It is, but Dallas is nothing like Atlanta.
Dallas ain't what it is. Oh, B.
Don't come here. Don't come here.
I'll put Dallas above Atlanta.
You know what I think it is? No. What I think it is Atlanta has more of that Instagram kind
of that calls into the show.
Exactly.
Atlanta.
Hey, B, you know what I mean? B, tell them they might want to go to my page, man, and try to come in. Maybe that's the problem.
Everybody go to Steven's page and comment.
Steve Lewis.
Steve Lewis. Yeah. STE Lewis. LEWIS.
I can't see the feed on his page.
You can't see the feed?
Like, I can't see the video itself. It's just saying I have trouble playing this video.
Yeah, you got some tech issues, Steve.
Yikes! Are you serious?
Yeah. So I can't even watch it.
Bro, I can see it, and it's going like it's great.
Wow, I shared it too, but the video and other people shared it, and the video wasn't even like attached to it.
Yeah, the video's not playing.
Wow, that is sad. That is really sad.
Yo, man, you have a real high value problem going on over there,
bro. They don't want it. They don't want it out. They don't want it out.
I know, right? He probably put a block on it because he trying to like sue people.
Maybe, bro. That might be it. Like low key.
who's in the top 10% of earners who women across the country want that?
Because I have a lot to offer. I feel like.
Would you want your son to, if you had a son making that kind of money, would you want him to bring home a woman who had a 13-year-old son from a sketchy father? Or would you prefer him to get a woman who had no children, was younger, and easier to get on his program?
Depending on his age.
See what I mean? See what I mean? This goes so deep for Black women. They will even. Should have been an easy question. No, I would not want my son to bring. I want the best for my son. That should have been the appropriate answer. That's why I sat up. That is bullshit. You should want the best for your son.
Of course.
But this is. But, and are you thinking?
If he brought home a woman, yes, I feel like I'm the exception to the rule. But
no, you're not. That's the problem. You all think you're the exception to the rule, but your life has proven to you that you're not.
My love life is not that good. I agree with you.
That's my point, and ma'am, and that's my point. You ladies all feel like, listen. You ladies all feel like you're the exception to the rule. And then when someone like myself comes along and gives you a dose of reality, instead of just accepting it, it's like, yeah, but I'm special. You don't know any men on this level that are not your father, that aren't related to you. That means you don't know these men. You don't know where to go get them. You don't know what they want. But you're still saying, pick me. They don't want mid-30-year-old baby mamas. I'm trying to be polite, man, but they don't want those.
Can I ask you a question?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Why is that so? Okay, go ahead.
Why is it so what?
Well, it's rough.
I tell you, idiots make the show.
Yeah. You say what, Black Ice?
The idiots make the show.
Yeah. I mean, really, if it weren't for that, man, the show wouldn't be as entertaining. It would not. And I mean, when it came to the whole thing of him asking the question about the son, because that's really supposed to bring things into perspective.
Right. Yeah, that was a good question that he asked. That was a good question.
But the problem is, it just goes to show the level of narcissism to the point where she answered the question the way she did because she's not thinking about her son. She's thinking about herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that just goes a level of narcissism. This is a level of narcissism, and I'm fairly young, so I'm able to grow up. I'm able to see the result of this kind of narcissism. I had to grow up with that result of that kind of. I had to grow up with the kids who were results of that kind of narcissism, and they are screwed up because they weren't the priority.
That's a good thing that you hear, because you are the youngest out of the four of us. So it does bring a different perspective,
right?
Because I think the rest of us, I know Brian and I, we close in age.
Yeah.
I think Steve like 50. How are you, Steve?
I'm 40. I'm 42, bro.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, man. But yeah, that was a good question I was asking, and she felt horribly on every level of that conversation.
Yeah.
But to me, the majority of his conversations on his broadcast are like that, and and I think, like you say, the biggest fans of that are men that wish to be like him, not really high value themselves, so to speak, and women who wish to have a higher value man and they're not themselves. So you got these two subpar people going at it.
B, what say you, B? What say you?
I think that, okay, so listening to that so far, it was a reality check, and I think that she needed to hear it so she can go on with her life. And she can make different decisions, so she could create different expectations. because to me, and me just looking at her, I think what's wrong with a plumber? What's wrong with someone who may not necessarily be what she has failed at really for the last couple of whatever.
Well, she said that they kept wanting to get in her business.
Okay.
She really? Said that they wanted to be a part of her business.
To be in a. I thought she said sex.
No.
Okay, my bad.
She said they wanted to be a part of her business,
like her financial business.
Well, so
her
actual business.
Yeah, they wanted to like buy in or something. She was like, "No, you're not buying it."
I remember. Okay, so and by the way, I see one of your comments. So it looks like people are able to comment now. So I think that just like anybody else, I don't know. I mean, that's up to her. I can't really see everybody that she has met wanting to be a part of her business. Where is she meet? Is she going back to the same place meeting these people?
That's what she said. Now
okay, well,
we got to take that with a grain of salt.
I don't believe her.
I don't believe her. I don't believe her. But I will say this to a point that something just occurred to me. A stat. According to the census, only 1 in 4 Black women will be married.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, guys, it just can't be the people calling in to Kevin Samuels that's the problem. Something is going on, and we have to address it. Something is going on. Why are only 1 in 4 Black women getting married?
Well, if that's if they only want to. Okay, so that's more demographics in our community. That's demographics.
It's like saying Atlanta is 20-1.
Yeah,
so somebody gonna be left out. Like it's really that many.
No, maybe not. Maybe we have to, as a community. Maybe we have to. If it's all about investing to the community, and if it's all about making sure that we, keep it in house. Otherwise, you may have to get used to Matt or Dave or Ming Lee or Singh or Nabesh. At wherever.
No, I think what it is, they want to be they don't want to be married.
That's another thing. Or maybe they could be lesbians, or maybe they can do the poly thing. It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you, ladies.
The point of them wanting to be married. Wanting to be married is not just about or something that I've realized when it comes to people wanting something. It's not just about them saying that they want it. It's about the actions that they do to lead up to that. So what actions did they do throughout their lives to lead up to them being a wife?
You know what? No, it takes it even further. They don't want to be married. They don't want to be alone.
Dude.
That's one thing. That is one thing. Yeah.
Look, I didn't pull the video, but I can pull a video. There are 2 relationship, like people that set up relationships, people that they're matchmakers for high level women, and what they are seeing is they were talking about, they were on a video, they were talking about their experiences, and what they are seeing is those women who are doing well, they are, for some reason, they're not able to connect with the potential mates that are they are coming across.
It was a light skinned woman that
her too. But I'm talking about 2. You're talking about what's her name? I forgot her name, but I can pull that video too. But we're talking about on both sides. There's an issue with relationships going on, even with Black people and white people, I will say, or whatever ethnicity or race you are. There's an issue. And it has to be addressed, and I think it goes past people calling in with the problems that if we say that they have problems. I think it's a national, worldwide issue. I really do think it is.
I disagree.
Okay, go ahead.
I really disagree with the Black community because they try to destroy the nuclear family within the Black community.
I don't believe. Okay.
And the reason I say that, point blank. You go watch TV right now. I guarantee you watch your commercials. About almost like 7 out of 8 about 7, 8 out of 10 commercials right now, it's gonna be a swirly couple. In most cases, it's gonna be a black woman and a white man.
But what does that have to do with your choice?
Everything. Yo, see, that's the difference. White people tell us to be all inclusive. They don't tell their kids that.
They do not.
They about building themselves. It's about nation building.
Look, when you and that's what I'll say to the point of there being marital issues across all peoples. With white folk, at least they get married before they get divorced. You know what I mean? At least they have assets. They get married. With us, we have. I mean,
you mean married before they have kids?
Both. No, both. Yeah, both.
Because I think that's the only way you can't get divorced, brother, is get married.
But I'm saying that a lot of us don't get married. Period.
Yeah.
With them, you get up when you have the MGTOWs and this and the third. They talk about the divorce rates. They talk about the problems after divorce. My point is, they're at least getting married.
Oh, whoa! I was this comment here. Contention is a problem. We need brothers to really step up. Women will follow a great man along to if it's right. I disagree again.
Wait.
I disagree again.
Okay. I
see Tawana West. I see what she's saying.
I definitely. Here's the thing. Both sides has to step up. Like, honestly, like, I don't think you can complain about not having a great woman until you can make yourself or come up and make yourself a great man. I don't think you can make that complaint. I really, if you're not a leader, I don't think you can really make the complaint of a woman following you, because you're not a leader, bro.
Yo,
man up and become a leader, and then you can make the complaint. But if you're not a leader, I don't know what your problem is. You got bigger problems. I kind of disagree with that too. Just like, okay, you can disagree, but the thing is, just like women should stop. I feel like women should not be delusional about where they are on the sexual market, sexual market, their sexual market value. I think men should not be delusional about where you are as a leader. Can you support a household? Can you, are you willing to take charge, man? Are you willing to be the leader? Can you handle those responsibilities? That's all I'm saying. But go ahead, Ice. You disagree?
Yeah. Only reason I disagree because the leadership is a very small percentage of people. But most people are followers. But I see what you're saying. You have to be a leader to be a leader of your household. I mean, I don't know if that's what you meant.
Yeah, I mean a leader of your household. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, so my thing is, Tawana. But I can say that, Tawana, I agree with you, but on the same thing, I can say the same thing about women. Like, you should take accountability for the kind of men that you are attracting. Like, if
I agree,
if you're attracting a certain if you're attracting a certain type of guy, look, maybe you need to concentrate on finding a leader. Maybe maybe you don't know what a leader looks like.
She about to get your ass now, brother.
Yo, but why are you waiting for her response?
No, I'm not. No. Yeah.
But why you waiting on her response though? I think it really boiled down to culture, and we lost our culture because our ancestors had us buy into integration. And here's where I'm going with this.
Oh, yeah.
This is an old war tactic. When somebody conquer a nation, especially Europeans, when they conquer a nation, what they do? They kill the men and assimilate the women. That's what they're doing now. They kill off the black man and assimilating the women. All right, in other cultures, they raise their children. They raise the boys to be husbands. They raise the girls to be wives. As a child, they brought up that way. Right. We're not brought up way right here in America. We say do what you want to do. Let me do me.
And that's that's perfect. That goes back to what I was even saying before with the white folk, and you see more marriages in the white community, even though there's a lot of divorce. When it comes to the point of us finding different nationalities to get with, going for the goal of getting unified, getting married. When you go and you get an intimate knowledge of how these traditional communities, because all of them have culture, When you go to the Arab community, they're not pushing for their sons to marry black women or their daughters to marry black men. When you go to the Indian community, they don't push that. You know how they are with their caste system. When you go to the Asian community, they don't play that.
They can play it like, yeah, you can play with them, but don't bring them home.
Right. When you go to the white community, they don't. When you go to all these communities and you get an intimate knowledge of how, and you might have their kids might be outside skateboarding with you and talking about GoLink, the new album. But then you talk about what their parents think.
Yo, perfect example. Drake was dating all those black women, but I was not surprised he had a kid with a white chick.
Right.
That could have been by chance, man.
No, hell no.
I don't think so.
He came from a Jewish family. He came from a Jewish family. His Jewish mom don't play that. He was raised. You go out there and play with them black people, but you don't bring. But you don't.
Bro, he got a black daddy though. What you mean?
But he wasn't around him growing up. He wasn't around him like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. His daddy did what? Got a white chick. No, he did. Got a white chick.
Hey, so
Megan, look at what the Megan chick that married Prince Harry.
Meghan Markle.
Yeah, Markle, right?
Yeah.
She married a white man. Cause guess what her mama did? Married a white man.
Yeah, and she was close to the mama.
So I guess the solution to the sisters is marry because they outnumber us. That they should start focusing on marrying outside.
No, that's the reason why that's a problem now. You can dip on the outside.
But statistically, that's not true. Statistically, more black men marry outside of the race than black women.
Right, women are more locked in.
But also, 80% of divorces are instigated by the woman.
Yeah, but we're talking about interracial.
No, but what I'm saying, when it comes to the problem of dating outside of the race, I'm mainly talking about black men.
Yeah,
black men are worse with it than black women.
So the athletes and celebrities.
Yeah, because
there's a problem.
Because we are the first one.
Man,
Kanye divorced Kim and got him a younger version of Kim.
Bro, I mean, man, honestly, man, I am pro black, but bro, I just can't rock with it like that because I think because of the connectivity of the world now, it's just we cannot keep doing that. Like what I'm saying is we can't not keep doing that. We can't keep thinking that way because it's an old world order of thinking. But honestly, man, if because the connectivity of the world, because of how we are connected and how we are like all of the races, all of the ethnicities, we are all around each other, bro. This pro-black, pro-white thing is a thing of the past. I'm telling you, within the next 100 years, we all are going to be looking a certain. We all there are going to be
about. Then that was just on January the 6th.
Bro,
do you think that was because they were storming the Capitol trying to come marry our black asses?
No, bro,
I know we're getting off topic here, but
no, I'm not saying that. But what I'm telling you is, people being only one thing is going to be only one race is going to be a thing of the past. I mean, you can believe it or not believe it, but as we become closer and closer together by technology, it's going to be a thing of the past. So, I mean, you can believe it now or you can believe it when it happens. But I'm telling you, that's my prediction. It's going to happen.
But until then,
here's what I'll say: you can't spread your seed. First off, you can't spread your seed via technology. Second off,
you said your seed through society, through social, through social. So what happened? Look. Here's a point. What happened?
You are able to see how every single nationality has their enclave, and they have that cultural mindset. When you go to Chinatown, they have that cultural mindset. They still spread that. So that old world viewpoint of thinking, this whole interracial.
That's the reason why they're still here.
That's the reason they're still here. This whole interracial, we're all one thing and let's all get along. That's pushed to us.
Honestly, that's a white supremacy agenda.
I don't believe that.
Here's why.
I don't believe that. I don't believe it because I don't believe it because how social, and I don't want to say socialism because that has a definition, but how social culture, like the way we work socially. So what happens when people start being around each other? They start getting more comfortable with each other. What happened when schools were integrated? Once schools got integrated, you saw a rise.
They came up with redlining.
Yes, they did. But you also saw a higher number of people being interracially dating. As things start interracially dating, you saw a raising height. You saw a spike in interracial marriages. Like you saw once people get together, bro, nature happens. So the thing is, with social media and with us being able to be connected with each other, that means you're going to see a rise in interracial dating and interracial marriages. It's natural. You can't hold a man from a woman. Once it's there, it's there. Once people like each other, they like each other. Yeah, so I don't. That's BS, man. That's BS.
Here's why I agree with you. Here's why I agree. Here's my argument. Integration is a white supremacist agenda to destroy the black family. Everybody, you look at integration. Everybody benefited from integration, but black people.
And we were the main ones who were going and integrating. If you look around on these enclaves, they don't integrate, man.
Jewish people who control the world, they don't integrate. Right? You go there, and that's a European Christian mindset. But biblically, it's not a biblical concept. When they all together at the Tower of Babel, what did Yahweh himself do? Y'all gotta separate. He didn't say, "Oh, let's all come together." No, y'all need to separate.
And
separate means,
the whole thing with and people get our ability to be able to communicate with each other confused with people have their own identity and their own culture and their own thing that shapes them. Because the ability to identify, you had the Silk Road.
Perfect example.
The Silk Road has been around for thousands of years. They've been in communication. People have been moving. People have been doing trade across continents for a long time.
And still had their culture.
Still got their culture.
Yo, the perfect example. His name is
I'm not saying that there's going to be a death of black culture or anybody's culture.
It is.
I'm telling you that with where we are going as a world, the trajectory of the world, there are going to be less and less of one particular culture or one particular race, and more of a mixture of races. That's all I'm saying.
Who culture they're going to follow? They're going to follow the dominant society. Perfect example. His name is Brian. Your name is Steve. I have a Christianized European name too.
Yeah.
They don't have our name for our culture. We have their culture.
We're speaking English.
We're speaking English.
That's not that's not.
I understand that.
All the mixing going on, the dominant society is still in power. So we're not really mixed. They still in power.
B, you're nodding your head, man. Chime in on this, B.
No, so I hear where everybody's coming from, but it's more of a, actually I think it was a stat that says by 2050, European people of European descent will be the lowest. Actually, they will officially become a minority group.
Exactly.
That's less than 50 years. So it's 30 years from now.
So tell us how this happens. Tell us how that happened.
Well, they're not populating at a rate of the Hispanic community, the Black community. They're not populating at a rate. They're not having kids. They're not getting married, and they are getting married at a lower. They are getting married later in life.
But B, what you're not saying that the Black community, the Black population demographic is also dropping.
I don't know about dropping. I know that it
is. We were at 13%. We were at 13. We were at 14%, but we are now lower. Check the demographics.
Yeah, but black people that's population control. Yeah. What's going on with white people? So it's something is a natural phenomenon.
For whatever reason it might be, let's talk about what the results are.
But the numbers mean nothing. White people are scared of that number. But look at Atlanta. Atlanta is called what? The Black Mecca, right? But who's in power? White people. I cannot name 5 black people that work for another black business. They work for a white business.
Look across,
and we the majority.
Look in Africa.
All those businesses y'all got out there.
Those.
Well, when you listen, when you got a whole bunch of chicken fried places and hair and eyelash places, you can't employ all those black people.
But they're not black owned. They're not black owned from the get go. We just did a broadcast last week about that. We show how foreigners come over here with no credit and able to get the money to set up shop in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
We actually found how to get that money.
And then
how you can't do it. Like you said it earlier, redlining, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're not affected by that. We are.
Right.
You know, and because the reason we did a broadcast about it because Kamala Harris, who's supposed to be black, right? Mm-hmm. She gave $1.25 billion last week to the CDFIs.
Yeah.
The CDFIs are these community banks. They give money to immigrants, but not black people.
Yeah.
And they specifically give them money to set up shop in our neighborhood that you cannot get a loan for. I give you a loan about your Tesla, but I'm not gonna give you a loan to build a business.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with that, and that's actually, I think, you know, this woman who came over as an immigrant told me that there's a whole behind the scenes vote as a Republican kind of a conversation, and wink wink. That's why they get access to certain things, and that's why black people are pushed out of, or natives are pushed out of, people of color who are native are pushed out of that arena. So it's a whole racist web that's being interwoven as to why black people don't have access to certain things. But
so to your point, no matter how much we integrated, the dominant society is still being dominant. We're not taking over. We just have more in number. That is more slaves for them.
And one thing that I also want to add to that point, because I mean, you said a very direct example is the plantation. You had a few white folk that,
and it ran over a whole bunch of black people.
But you could also look at colonialism and how they took over Africa, because you would have figures like Cecil Rhodes down there in South Africa. There wasn't much white folk in South Africa, but that didn't matter. They had the power.
They had the power. I mean, no matter how many numbers we have, we still lack the power.
Exactly. So
as long as we still here, we not the power. And then what Biden has been doing is lessening our power even more by bringing these so-called dreamers over the border.
Yeah.
He's bringing them in to replace us.
Yeah, and so as far as our population is dropping, I mean,
Planned Parenthood.
Exactly.
They're pushing and I don't know, y'all believe it or not, there is a gay agenda.
Right.
They're pushing very heavy. You know what I mean? Especially against black men.
Yeah, so it's various things that they push in order.
I count on one hand how many straight black men I see you in a positive role in any movie.
You
TV
live in
show,
LA. Oh. Never mind.
Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
So we know. But here's the thing. Even though Atlanta has a high population of the alphabet community,
the highest.
No, you know, in America it is. The highest actually is in Israel.
Oh, really?
The part of the biggest pride, the Pride Festival actually over there, out of all places.
Interesting.
But overall, the overall population, they only have 2-3%. Yet they got a lot more representation in the media than we do.
And that's
image is everything. You find much quicker for you to find a black gay male character than a black straight one in a positive role.
They say that art imitates life. But if you're able to control that art,
perfect.
You're gonna think.
Perfect example. Did y'all see Falcon and Winter Soldier?
No,
I didn't see it. No.
Okay, well, y'all seen Avengers, right? Avengers, movies.
Which one?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I saw the Infinity Stone.
Okay, yeah. So you look at the black men characters in that movie, and then the ones after that, or even I used a prime example a couple years ago. We were talking about Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. Right? It was a good, all-inclusive movie and everything. And I actually thought about it, bro. It was that one positive black male role in that movie, and both of them.
The one black man was Childish Gambino, and he was what?
And he was a thief.
Yeah.
Black Panther was weak.
Yeah.
Your strongest people in your whole country was women around you.
And another thing,
they would never do Thor like that.
Because even with they had to snap out Black Panther because he was he was snapped out of existence, and we were stuck with Falcon getting his ass whooped.
And you really think about Black Panther didn't fight nobody.
Yeah,
these women did. So these are just a few examples of what they're doing. I mean, these are very few examples.
They would call the janitor and have him mop the floor with Anthony Mackie's ass all across those Marvel films.
Basically, we talking about Captain America is black now, right? Yeah. And he getting his ass whooped all over the place now. But he's our black hero now.
Yeah.
So we so caught up in the symbolism of it, and you're not realizing he getting his ass whooped the whole series.
And they push this whole like, you see, black folk, we just gotta be so peaceful.
Yeah.
That's that mindset.
It's a docile mentality.
Exactly.
And so that plays into our relationships and marriages and stuff too. It plays into the black boys who grew up and that's all they see.
Yeah.
So you most turned on by the images you see between birth and the age of 12.
Well, they wouldn't have to see it if we show up. So that's a whole different thing.
So guys, let's get back on. We took a turn.
We took a good little turn. I mean,
we took a turn at Albuquerque. They caught us in Albuquerque.
No, but you really just showing it's a different layers to it. It's not simple.
I mean, there are
women stepping up. There's deeper and deeper layers and layers of issues, and that's all the point that we're all making. Even if we disagree about it, but I think we all can agree there's multiple layers. It's not just a one-worded solution.
And Kevin Samuels is not going to encompass.
Yeah, right. He's not gonna get that. He's not gonna get that type of solution. He's gonna expose the problem, but he's not really exposing the deeper solution either.
Right.
That is true. I had a few questions that I wanted to ask everybody on the panel. So one of my questions was, is it really his tone? Let's talk about tone. Is it his tone? Does tone make something harder to digest, or is tone needed in order to get your point across, which is, whatever that point is? What if you're not just your point, but to succeed in whatever you were trying to do?
Yes.
What you were trying to tell the person. Do you really need a particular tone? Let's talk about that. So
Yes, you do. I think you do. And I think that a person who is emotionally intelligent knows how to influx if they have that ability. Not everybody does. Mm-hmm. If a person has the ability to interpret if that person is being offensive or is that just how that person talks. I'll give you an example. There's a supermarket not too far from where I live, and right before they let the restrictions down, everybody was wearing masks. It was an older lady checking out everybody, and she was, oh no, don't do that. And I'm like, no. In my mind, I'm like, okay, now hold up, lady. I will listen. I can get with you. I don't give a fuck who grandmother you are, but at the end of the day, that wasn't my immediate reaction. That was an internal reaction. Right? Because when you have control over your faculties, people don't move you like that. Because the first thing that you do is you got to check everything out to make sure it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So for me, again, using emotional intelligence, I said, let me see if this is how this lady talks. So I kept my composure, did what she asked me to do. Actually, before I left, she was actually responding to the person in the same way. Now, if I just jumped into that reaction because her tone was all off, I probably would have, not only did I mischaracterize her, but I also would have escalated a situation that wasn't meant to be. So I think that a lot of times, particularly with his listeners, people have to understand, okay, first of all, I'm watching this on my phone. Why the hell am I being triggered? He's not talking to me. Why am I being triggered? I don't think people are actually going through those channels and steps. They just react, which is why when he asks people, have you been to counseling? I think that is an appropriate question. Right. That's just me.
Me, I think a little bit differently. I definitely feel where you're coming from. I feel like whoever calls in, no matter what tone you use, they're not looking for a real solution. They're looking for somebody to justify their actions. So no matter what your tone is or how correct you are or how objective you are, they're not willing to say, as we just watched, she wasn't willing to accept it at all, period. And I think she would feel the same way no matter if it was Kevin or anybody else. And as far as the women viewers that so triggered, I don't think they're so much triggered by him. I think they triggered by the other men that co-signing him. I think it was I think it was trips them up. I think. I mean, I could be wrong.
I think you're right. I think you're right. But I wanted to kind of ask B. So B, what if the detractors would say, what if Kevin had a little more emotional intelligence in order to codify his message to the person that he's talking to.
Meaning adjust his tone.
Adjust his tone, or
Mhm.
knowing when to let up. So meaning same tone, know when to push, know when to pull, know when it's going too far, knowing when it's not going too far, knowing when to put the pedal to the metal and push the brake.
I think he does a good job of doing that, because
I think so too.
If
But
it
I mean,
were me, these conversations wouldn't last that long. Like the other lady the other night that we're going to get into, he sat on the phone with her for 30 minutes. I could never do that. You got 5 minutes and you out of here.
I agree with Brian. I don't think he should be letting up at. I don't think he should be letting up at all. Why let up for? Because him letting up, every time he let up, was it productive? You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Well, I'm playing devil's advocate because people are saying they're saying, like the gentleman was saying. Remember the gentleman from the other night was saying,
Yep.
"Well, Kevin, it's your tone. Sometimes you draw more. What do you say? Sometimes you draw more bees with flies with honey instead of vinegar." So, so my question is this the kind of situation in which we feel that he should let up, or is that just not something you should let up on?
I think I think it also okay. So he has a particular agenda. I'm not sure if you all saw the interview that he did with Vlad TV. He's very, very conscious of why he's doing that, because how do you go from a person that nobody knows about? And he already said his goal is to be the next Steve Harvey. So he's going to push that train as far as it could go.
But
he's going to push that train.
Well, not Steve Harvey in theory. I mean, not Steve Harvey in mindset, but Steve Harvey like
in terms of status, in terms of notoriety. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for clearing that up. In terms of being that huge. Me too. So sometimes you got to push, but I've always been a controversial person because that's just who I'm not inspired by Kevin Samuels. Like I mentioned, Dick Gregory, Charlemagne, Paul Mooney, people like that have inspired me. But I put my own little, twist on it and I make it work for me. So I've always had, my delivery has always been MFs and, all kinds of shit. So for me, you've seen me get down, and I'm not nice. I don't believe in being nice to people just because somebody says I should be nice. No, that's something that's earned. And everybody that I approach, my approach to you is to be civil, not nice. Because you start to say some shit, then I'm gonna, okay, now we got to derail this conversation. So for me, I think tone is something that I'm aware of, because I know how authoritative and sort of resounding my voice can be. So I got to be careful about how I use it as an instrument. So, and I don't want to get people, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's saying this, whatever, get past it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's more important to deliver the message. Some people are going to get lost on it. I've had people say, why do you have to curse so much? And what? Go talk to somebody else. Go watch Little House on the Prairie if you want something that's a little bit more delicate, because that's not my thing.
And another thing we got to realize, some people, and you hear them from Kevin all the time. Kevin said he gets messages. Some people, they've heard it, they've tried it other ways, they've listened to other gurus, they've gone down the line, and Kevin is really their last stop. They're like, okay, everybody been coddling me and patting me on the back and sending me on my way, and to no results. Now this guy is saying something totally different, so maybe I should try his way, and maybe I should, look past his tone to see what he's really trying to say to me. Akis, what I had heard you on this tone situation. What you got?
As far as tone. I mean, of course, with everything when it comes to presentation, there's a whole myriad of what would you say? What's the word for it? Of factors that culminate into the presentation. But for what Kevin Samuels is doing, as far as his tone, tone of course, like anything, your voice is an instrument. So depending on what you're doing, you want to be mindful of your tone. But for what Kevin Samuel is doing, his tone is appropriate. This is his platform. You know, this is what he does. This is what they come there for. This is what people come to listen to. So you could say, people might say, he should fix his tone. But if he were to fix his tone, then the show wouldn't be what it is.
It's true. It would not. It would not. Like, let's finish up this video, y'all. It's average at best. I think it's going to get a whole lot worse. I don't think this is going to end well for our
female guest.
Yeah, she's not.
For the six.
This is not going to be good.
Go ahead.
From my point of view, I feel like I get what you're saying. They do have better options, but also those better options are younger girls. Those younger girls don't necessarily 20-year-olds are not necessarily attracted to 45-year-olds.
Bullshit. I'm 51 and I can't beat them off with a stick. That's
Hey, she wanted to live in her delusion.
Look, I'm 40. Hey, I can speak from my experiences. I'm 42 now.
Look at that. That's a low key flex he just did there. I ain't trying to brag, but
I'm just saying it is what it is, bro.
Got him,
I'm just bro. It ain't no flex, bro. I'm just saying
that's another one you lies. No, younger women are attracted to older men. What are you talking about?
So can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So do you feel like a woman like me?
Uh-huh. What would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? You cannot use 7.
Would I rate myself?
Just your face.
My face when I wake up, 5, but when I put myself together, 6.
Okay. And how tall are you?
5'5".
Dress size.
I'm sorry?
Your dress size.
A 3.
Okay. So that makes you, if you give yourself a 5, that's average.
Yes.
So average looking women tend not to get high earning men. They tend to get average men.
So
did you I mean, stop right there. Stop.
Fellas, is that true?
I think of Ben Carson. Have you all seen Ben Carson's wife?
No.
She looked like she chew on a cinder block for part-time income.
Oh, bro.
Oh, sure.
So what I think that's important because the thing, I mean, this is where the nuance gets a little dicey with Kevin. I think that what Kevin is trying, because Kevin, first of all, Kevin is an advocate for men, number one.
True.
So right. he is giving her a reality check based on where she is and what her potential is. Right. I think if she looked a little different, his message would be different. So I think he's trying to massage it in a way where, but these guys obviously don't want you, in terms of her. So, but you get somebody who is, you working for the person he worked for, then your only other option is to have someone like he married. Yeah. You all seen his wife, right?
Yeah. We looked him up. We're looking at her now.
Yeah.
What a shame.
But what I can say is she does look at him with a admiring gaze. I will say that.
Yeah. Yep.
He looks at her like that?
No, she looks at him.
She looks at him like that.
Because who else is okay? I can understand why she would.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of hope. It's thank you God because I would be alone.
But bro, can we not discount? Can we not discount the fact that she could be very, very cooperative
Right.
Yeah,
She could be
absolutely.
very,
Oh, yeah,
very
it's
feminine.
a reason
She
why
could,
that she got them and others didn't.
Yeah.
oh, absolutely.
But this is a real conversation. I think there are things that people who are not as attractive do that people who are very
Oh,
attractive
good point.
don't have to
Good
do.
point.
So that's
Mm.
why I think when she's looking at him, she's looking at him with gratitude. We see it as love. We see it as passion. She's
Right.
probably looking, oh my, thank you for choosing me. That's just,
Right.
food for thought. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
I'm not sure what she does. It could. I mean, she could be a very, very, very intelligent woman, and that would maybe change our
Kind of.
some of the our assumptions.
That's only
Yeah.
1 or 2 extra points. That's not.
Well, I
as
mean,
important,
just,
Oh,
let's
you
just
gotta be
say
smart though.
let's just say she was a PhD.
Yeah,
You
a
know,
lot of people are book smart, but life stupid.
Yeah. Oh man.
But what my point is that many people that have PhDs are very aware that they have PhDs and they're very proud of their PhDs. So they don't too fast. What's the word? Kowtow to anyone,
Mhm.
or see that somebody, they don't see a person as their quote unquote savior.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I would like to know what her education level is.
The
Just kind of
nuances.
just
Now I know about his story, his come up story. Now if she was around doing his come up, and then I can see.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. That's a
saying?
very
Yeah,
good
that's
point.
true.
Yeah.
Cause like he ain't like he pulled her after he started making 6 figures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah, he probably
no way.
he probably would have
Him?
made a different
No way.
choice.
No way.
Man,
Not the Trump supporter. No
Ben
way.
Carson, he's a little kooky now. If you listen to him, some of the stuff he said over the years is a little weird.
Hey,
Like
but
people have questioned whether he really was a brain surgeon, because he said some really weird stuff over the years.
well, to both y'all points. For one, for his career field, they're gonna be weird anyway. Only
Anyway,
weird people
exactly.
Oh, that's very.
develop
Oh
that
yeah,
in
good
profession.
point.
The higher you get up into this corporate structure and income, the weirder these motherfuckers are.
Yeah.
I'm saying this firsthand knowledge. I'm saying I see it
You-
every motherfucking day.
I mean, shoot,
Yeah,
just
you may mention
like,
that on a post, man.
you know?
Absolutely.
And
That's why
then-
I'm glad I'm working from home. Shit.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and I think, and then, but also to your point too, Brian. I think a lot of people, I think black people, at its core, were more moderate and conservative than radical than it is today.
Yeah.
Because really, to be a Democrat, it didn't turn far left until Obama's second term. His
Right.
first term, it's still kind of moderate.
I mean, even when he was running for his first term.
First term, he was kind of moderate.
Yeah.
It was to the second term for the second term to today, it went far left.
Because they were asking his opinion on gay marriage. He was like,
No, yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
right. He switched up when he got the gay money. He switched up real quick,
Yeah.
and it's been like that ever since.
Mm-hmm.
So but you raised to be, most black people at this core are kind of raised to be conservative. So I'm not surprised if he were on a more conservative, or, I mean, you don't have to be a Trump supporter to be conservative, but I kind of get why he's at where he's at.
I would say socially conservative, but not fiscally. More fiscally more liberal.
Right.
Yeah, that's amazing, because considering, especially, for example, you work in the Christian church, Steve.
Yep.
You look at today's modern church. The church itself, biblically, is conservative, but in America, it's more liberal now. And I think that's
Well, I think that just goes to the divide of, for the longest, black people were poor, and they were, they were in need of the social services. Well, I wouldn't say that always in need of social services, but based on what situations was going on, even if the white society or white government put us in that situation, they were still in need of some services. So I mean, my point is that black people have always been so socially, morally conservative, but yet fiscally liberal. You know what I mean? fiscally what's the other word? Yeah, fiscally liberal. And that's just because of our connection with Christianity.
But I think that's been part of that downfall too. Because most other societies they built to be conservative. Like I say, we bought into the whole integration, sexual liberation, strong black woman is to the point it is breaking. All those things were meant to break up the home,
and we cleaved on.
And we cleaved on to it.
And you see where we're at now.
Right.
But it's funny because those things broke down the community and what it was. But a lot of you talk to a lot of black folk and you ask them, how should we remedy this? Go more left.
Yeah. Right.
Go more left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've said this before. We can get political, but I've said that they, Republicans and Democrats are probably of the same ilk.
They're always going, and we just said that on the broadcast.
They're just giving us something to argue about why they do all of the stuff they want to do. You know what I mean?
We just said that on our broadcast tonight. They are white first, regardless of political how they feel politically. They're always going to be white first. They stay on code with each other.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Now with us, that we'll fight back and forth about Democrats and Republicans, who's a Trump supporter and who's not.
And it's funny because they'll look at us and be like, look at him.
We fight over stuff like that.
Hey, look at them argue over abortion, fools.
Why they building no clinics in our neighborhood?
Dummies. Look at them arguing over white and black and what happens. Oh,
you got to think about it, man. Since the biblical days, they've been trying to cut our population. We always had no problems populating. Remember in Egypt, they were killing off all the boys under 3. Not only they were trying to get to the Messiah, they were just kind of cut our population.
Yeah.
Remember, when we first came to Egypt, we didn't go to Egypt as slaves. We were invited guests.
Yes.
It wasn't until after we started populating that became a threat to them. They had to cut us down. Over and over again, every empire that we was under kept cutting our population, even today.
Because not only did we prosper as far as having kids, but we also were independent.
On top of that.
Right.
So now we're more dependent than ever, which leads into our relationships, marriages, and everything else, man. Like
because we might preach independence amongst on an individual level, but we're not an autonomous enclave of people.
Nah.
We function within the context of the social society.
So the dominant society, because they control it.
Right. The dominant society.
Yeah.
So that's a major issue we got.
So guys, we've been running long, but I kind of wanted to get a piece of for the detractors, they say that Kevin don't give men the work.
Yes.
But this brother here, he gave all of the smoke. And it got quite hard to watch. So let's check
Very
this out.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Biologically?
Yes.
Oh, I think I see this one.
There is no difference.
Then
Not from a biological perspective.
Then why would they not respond to the same evolutionary biology type things?
From what I've seen from anecdotal experience, it's like it's a temporary
What
reaction.
Do you live in?
I'm in Atlanta.
Atlanta?
Why are we taking him?
So why does the divorce rate drop dramatically for black couples as well over an income of $250,000?
I didn't know that.
Maybe because you're not part of that group.
Right. See, the brother started out bad with the poster.
See, if you're going to say something like that, I'm going to challenge it. Because basically what you're putting out here is you don't feel black women are going to, okay, I'll go with that. But why? Based upon what?
It's what I've seen my entire life. Black women have been my enemy my entire life.
They've been your what?
My enemy.
Whoa.
Yeah, I saw this clip.
Whether it's me, whether it's people that I know or people that I'm even related to, if there are strides towards success that are being made, there's an active effort to get in the way of the progress of what it is that we're doing. Like honestly, like
What does that mean though? You come in and say black women have been my enemy. You're gonna have to give me a specific.
okay,
Letting you go, man. I'm
I
trying to.
recently dated a woman who was pursuing a dual doctorate degree in medicine and in chemistry.
I'm a
And
PhD.
throughout the entire relationship, the only time that we didn't have an argument or we didn't have any kind of ridiculous back and forth is when we were having sex. You know what I'm saying? Like once the orgasm was out the window.
How old are you?
28.
And how long did you
28.
date?
I've known her for 8 years, dated her for 1.
And you dated to what end? What was the intended outcome? To what end? Yeah, dating has a purpose.
I was interested in marrying her.
You dated her with
sure.
Okay. And what do you do for a living?
I'm a musician and an Uber driver.
What?
I know.
Are you serious? Are you trolling me? Ninja,
No,
what?
I'm not.
Ninja, what? You date. Your enemy is your pocketbook.
Ew.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
Don't come here to talk about black women as your man. See? I mean, are you being serious, bro?
I am, but the finances is definitely something that I'm working on.
Hell no. A black woman who's you actually came in here to tell me that you dated a black woman who's pursuing 2 dual doctorates.
I'm a PhD.
And you're a goddamn Uber driver and a musician. That's not a problem, except you frame black women as your enemy, and your enemy is your inability to be productive on a serious level.
That's not currently true for me.
Well, here's the thing. I talked about what makes black women different on an evolutionary biological scale than any other group of women. You could not say that. I asked you about the decrease in the divorce rates over $250,000 for a couple. You didn't know about that. You said from your anecdotal experience, but unless you make that, your anecdotal experience has been respect yours.
Well, so outside of me, I have mentors that I work with.
My ultimate point is
that
at 28 years old, you're too young to be trying to talk about getting married anyway. See, you haven't found yourself. And if I go with what you said, your failure in relationships are justified by calling black women your enemy instead of looking in the mirror and saying, where am I at?
I do that every day.
And why? And why? What makes you said you were looking at her to be a wife, possibly? What makes you a husband?
Outside from what standpoint?
Can you provide for a family?
Oh boy.
Not yet, no.
Then you were dating this woman with the eye to marry her, and you couldn't even provide for a family.
Goodness.
He looks so damn dumb. Like the way he's just looking at the camera. Exactly. Like, that's good,
Oh
man.
my bro, come
Yeah,
on, man.
Dude, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. Thinking like, the hovering over your bed.
Dopey, though.
All right, B, what do you think about this reaction?
I just got a headache, brother.
Yeah, for real.
Wow. I don't even, okay, let me start here. Okay, so he says, so Kevin's quote unquote standard is that most black men should look to even start getting married around 30. And I totally respect and appreciate that perspective, because when you look around into that millennial group, 30 and under, this is the kind of response that they get. These people have no vision. They have no concept of self. They don't know where they fit in the community. They don't know where they fit in a larger society. They have no true world experience, which is why they can't even answer that question. First, I was a little hard, but I think what really annoys and frustrates me is that they don't even really want to know how, what, when, where, and all of those things that are necessary to answer that conversation. That's why it's not only harsh, but I think he deserved it. I'm sorry. And I wish I would have had someone to talk to me like that at 28. The other thing is that
Right.
he said that the other thing is that he said he's known this girl for 8 years, but only have been dating for a year. And surprised all of a sudden that the only time that they don't argue is when they are getting it in. Okay, well, you can't even see that you're a trick. You can't even see that you're basically her side piece because he can't believe that he was the only one. I think he's not. I think he's naive. The other thing is that
he served the purpose of keeping her body count low. I mean, she was the guy that she knew, and he's serving instead of having her toy. She called your boy over, and
I believe what happened was that he picked her up. She was out with her friends one night, and she was like, "You want to come upstairs?" And it's that's what it was.
What, like 8 years? But he's known her 8 years though, so that means that would go back to
a long
undergrad.
time. Absolutely.
From I mean, before probably 20. If he hasn't been with her for some time.
Yeah.
That means she lost a bet.
I mean, I think she likes him, but I mean, I don't know. She could be very, very well attracted to him. Who knows?
I don't believe that.
But his mindset is very. I just said, I'm just throwing it out there. I can't say that I all the way believe it either. But his mindset is just really. He knew her before the PhD, so she liked his potential and did not work for her. Yeah, well, yeah. Let me put that up.
I think she believed in the beginning. The shit that he told her is just that because she is so ambitious and she probably believed in his talent. Right. She probably came to saw him play. She's like, damn, this motherfucker is pretty good. And kept pushing him and pushing him. He was like, oh,
but bro, I'm
just the same thing we saw here. It's been that way for, however long.
But bro, I'm just gonna throw this out here. I don't know what kind of musician he is, but that ain't that ain't what musicians make, especially in Atlanta. So I don't know.
Oprah does pretty well though.
No, I mean, he said he make 40. He gonna say later on he make 40 with both jobs.
Damn.
Black Ice, what you got?
Oh, sorry, you waving at something here.
Yeah,
but we catch a lot of L's in Atlanta, man. Only thing winning in Atlanta right now is the Hawks.
Brother, you said a mouthful. I need to post that shit right now.
Oh, it's that. Oh man, what's going on with the L's in Atlanta, bro?
Yo,
what's happening?
Like what you see on this dude's show is basically what happens in Atlanta. That's how we feel what we feel about the show. Because I mean, like really? In Dallas, you in Jackson, but this is every day for us. That's just Thursday.
I mean,
no. Talk to me. Expound. I'm not sure. I really know what you're saying. What's
that I want to get into?
It's the shallowness, the selfishness, the lack of common sense, the sense of entitlement. Everything that you seen on that show, we see here on a daily basis.
When I forgot which one of you brothers brought it up, but when the whole thing about the millennials and how they don't have their things together, they don't have their ducks in a row. A lot of them are stunning. Yeah, it was Brian. A lot of them are stunning. A lot of them are stunning and really haven't had a chance to grow out of. I can't even say adolescence. I would say adolescence for some of them, but for some of them, it's even childhood. A lot of them haven't had the opportunity to be adults mentally, and you see the mindset of people pushing 30, who if you were to take away their appearance, you would believe you were dealing with a teenager, and that is a very common thing. I'm not sure if it's a regional thing that's only bound to Atlanta.
Yeah, I think generation as a whole down that route, like what Brian said. I think it's a generational thing.
Yeah,
but we just see it a lot more here in Atlanta because more of a concentration. Because people are coming to Atlanta based off what they see on TV and bring that same mindset here.
Yeah.
and then go home with failure. I mean, like Steve, I can tell you the amount of people. I started my business in Jackson, and since I've been back in Atlanta, I lost count of how many people that used to be clients in Jackson, models and whatnot, and they came out to Atlanta.
Right.
There was a big thing in the pond, but they come out here to the ocean. You a 10 in Jackson, you a 5 here.
Right.
But you still think you're a 10 in your head.
Right.
And then going back home disappointed. And you just being now like girls on the show. And then like boy here, same thing. Like, like that's what I'm saying. Like a guy like him probably can get a PhD these days in college. Because college isn't based on intellect. It is based on how well you follow instructions. Yeah. Like basically.
And how good you regurgitate what you learn.
Yeah, when we did a broadcast earlier this week, I was thinking about we used a quote from Malcolm X: "Only a fool let the enemy teach his children." Mm-hmm. And like I love his speeches so much, and sometimes we forget that he's a convicted felon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he's so articulate.
Or Huey Newton was self-taught. He taught himself how to read.
Yeah.
But these days, these people come to college, come out to be that damn stupid.
Yeah. Went through a whole 4 years.
A whole 4 years.
He was like, that was funny, man. He was like, "No, bro, I'm talking about the 40,000 you said that you couldn't, support a family, not me.
Oh, man,
why do I have to remind you that, bro?"
Yeah, like it's but we don't have mindset that people will call in. Anybody with sense would never call in because they have sense.
They got this thing. They got
like Brian would never call. Brian would never call into that.
Yeah, you know what? For me, I think I probably if I felt compelled to call in, because I mean, listen, I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not scared of going up against anybody because I know who I am. Yeah. But the thing about it is that because he lays out his position, I've done my homework on him. Yeah. But if I feel compelled to go in on something, I could have a conversation with the brother.
Well, that's the whole point, man.
I think you smarter than him. Actually, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you calling that because I don't think you calling because you're scared of him. Right. I think he can match you mentally. But we've been on this stream for over 2 hours, and y'all didn't answer the one question that I had about Kevin Samuels.
Oh, go ahead.
Who was that man in his damn bed?
Oh, dude, that was not true, man.
That wasn't true. So basically, what happened was, you know how Zoom works, which is so funny because everybody who has used Zoom before, they don't consider the fact that was a screen share for somebody else because you got a lot of people that call up there in bed. That wasn't in that dude's. I mean, I don't know what his home looks like, but you could tell that was a screen share.
Man.
You could tell.
That brother that was sleeping had a nice
house, bro,
but with similar walls.
The same IKEA furniture.
You're wrong for that, man.
You're wrong.
I'm not even gonna do that to that man.
Yo, that nigga had the same IKEA furniture.
I'm sorry to this man. I'm sorry to this man. I don't know, man. But I mean, the man got bad trolls, man. That's the only thing about
right.
When you get up to almost 1 million subscribers, folks be coming for you, man. Did y'all see the Shekinah situation?
Oh my God.
Shekinah Joe.
Nah.
Bro.
Yeah, that was reckless on her part.
She was really reckless.
She got so many she's supposed to have really, really big kahunas. But she wanted to call in with the ceiling all showing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Totally dark screen.
Shekinah is the original Big Shirley. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I think that she's, she is who she is. I'm not saying I'm not taking anything away from her, but
there is a Big Shirley. That's a classic.
So fellas, we head into it. We head into a wrap. We've been on this thing like 2 hours, which is very interesting. So I wanted to ask: Can black men, can black women, can we take correction without getting in our feelings?
Most no.
Well,
And
everybody takes correction from Big Mama. Nobody's gonna go up against Big Mama, and especially the grandmother. If the grandmother is in the scene, you ain't going up against. Some people call her Medea, grandma. You don't go up against grandma.
Brian, but
So-
at the same time, Brian, is that part of the problem too, though?
well, I mean, that's my question. Should anybody be able to give you correction?
No, that's
Yes.
the point. That's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
that's my point. To your point,
Yeah. The point I'm getting at is, who raising these men to be men? And Big Mama the one, and not saying like, I was raised by a single mom, whatnot. I think I came out, but at the same time, I always had male figures in my life to give me guidance in a way. It came later in life or whatnot, but I still had it. But you got to think about, all these men that women want to step up, who raised them to be the way they are now. Was it a woman that raised this man that's on that show right now, talking about, he's 28 years old, and look how he came out.
Right.
Did that man raise that or not? I mean, I don't know.
But raising them to be what though? Raising them to be what? And how is it done? And depending on who's raising them, what was their life like? Because I think there's this broad assumption that our parents got everything right. No, it was a trial and error situation from them as well.
I totally agree with that. I just made a lot of missteps.
Yeah, I mean, and it's obvious with the state of our of Generation X, Generation Z. What do they call them? Y and Z, YZ.
Yeah,
the millennials.
Millennials.
Wait, the millennials are Y, and then we got
YG, Gangsters, Bloods, Crips. I don't know.
yeah. So can the answer is, can we? Well, the question is, can we take correction? It looks like the answer is no.
I say yes. We should be able to take correction, but
We should be able to, but can we? Based on
Yeah, that's what you're asking. Can we though? He ain't
I
saying
think
can
it-
we?
I think the problem that I have as a 40-year-old man is you got these millennials who think that you can come for me. That's when you get your ass cursed the fuck out, because these people think they on your fucking level. I'm like, you ain't been on you haven't been around this. Once you get to 40-something thousand days on this motherfucker, come holler at me. But as a 40-something, the 25-year-old is not ready to tell me how to do it.
I see Brian right now. Like, boy, that's just Similac on your breath. Coming on.
Nah, I'm gonna punch you in the throat. I'm not talking to you. I'm gonna talk like my homie in the tour, and I'm gonna get a baseball. I'm gonna take that Louisville slug and knock your fucking teeth out. I'm not talking to you.
So all right. So that brings up that brings up a good point. Are our younger generation mired in delusion and entitlement? Is that their problem? Because I feel like that's their problem. I feel like those are the people, the young people. That young man that we're looking at right there, he's mired in delusion and entitlement.
That man wearing waist beads right now. I guarantee it.
He probably
You said a what?
He wearing waist beads right now.
Waste beads. Get out of here.
Wait, stop it, bro. That man ain't wearing no waist beads, man.
That dude got on a toe ring praising the full moon right now.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
You see the poster.
Yeah, right behind him.
Mhm. Turn around and holler at it.
Talk about, it's a retrograde right now.
That's crazy.
But with the generational thing, what I'll say, I feel like the generations from the baby boomers down have their own delusions and issues. But definitely, of course, with the millennial generation or the younger generation, you got those who get it, but then you got those who really just aren't on the ball. But delusion, I see delusion regardless of age, and sometimes people who are old folk, because there's a difference between elders and old folk.
Mm-hmm.
But you got old folk that have the same delusions as somebody that's about my
very
age
true.
or younger.
That's very true.
So I really do believe that delusion has no age. It spans all across the black community, wide and thin. Like I can't believe it's not butter.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So My next question: can we agree that for all of Kevin Samuels' methods, can we agree that he's challenging both men and women to be better?
I can't fully get on there.
I can't ride that. I can't hop on that hill.
That surprises me.
Why
not?
I think
Why or why not?
I think he is exposing shallow people, but I don't think it's a challenge. I don't think he's challenging people to be better. I see it as strictly entertainment. I don't see anybody that hop on that show learning or gaining anything out of it.
Bro, but what I'm trying to express to you is that the people are watching the show because it resonates with them. It resonates with their personal lives.
To me,
they're not just watching. They're not just watching.
I think that says a lot.
Sure, it does. It means a lot of people. In lies the problem. So if you don't realize that, oh my bad. If you don't realize, well, we should all realize that the amount of people, Kevin Samuels has almost 1 million subscribers. Those 1 million subscribers, and that's a lot of women. If you go in his chat, that's a lot of women. And mostly men. But what we should realize is that is indicative of the situation that people are identifying with. They are identifying with the stuff he's talking about. So that's the problem in itself.
I think it's two sets of idiots going against each other.
What I will say,
bro, I'm telling you, it's way deeper than that, and there's more people than you think. You are underestimating the enemy. So to speak.
I think you overestimating how many smart people is in this world.
Here's what I
smart. What does love have to? What does love in a relationship with people have to do with being smart? Some of the smart people are
nothing to do with it. Most people on there looking for 6 figures. They ain't looking for love,
bro. It's bigger than that, bro. No. Kevin brings in
when it comes to what influence Kevin Samuel has in people's lives in the Black community, in the manosphere, in whichever realm you want to discuss, you have to give it. I can't even say you have to give it time. I mean, with everything you have to give it time. But I would say what directly. As far as what I'm directly seeing, as far as his change on the landscape, I'm not seeing that much change. And if anything,
I don't think he's effective.
And if anything, with the ones, with the men who look up to him and godfather him, I believe it might even be even more divisive because it gives certain men not the ability to refine Black women in order to help Black women, in order to help future generations of Black women, but to say, you see, and to debate them. You know, they want to come at them not on a point of empathy, because at the end of the day, we all have to empathize with each other as Black folk because we are our future. You got to empathize with Black men and Black women, our brothers and sisters. We got to empathize with each other in order to not to mend what's here now. Because I'm not going to lie, I feel like with a lot of folks that are of age right now, it's already done. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I already think it's done.
There's no hope for them.
Ain't no hope like that. But in order to mend our problems so that the future generations don't have to deal with them, that's what I think we need to start getting at. And I don't see that with Kevin Samuels, and I definitely don't see that with his followers. So I cannot say
that's a good one. I don't see growth within the followers.
No,
B, what say you?
Wow, y'all said a lot, man. I just wow. The first thing that was mentioned was not effective. Not effective. And I think that what we're seeing is the beginning of this movement, if you will. And we don't necessarily know what it is going to turn out to be because the brother's really kind of only been in a lot of people's consciousness for not even 2 years. So I think
not even a year.
Not even a year.
So about a year.
Yeah, almost a year. So in order for us to really kind of like assess what that is going to be, we got to give it a little bit more time and kind of look at what the trends have been and what the conversations have been. Number one, I think that he's made some level of an effect because look how many people are talking about him. People went from like I don't know who people was. We went from WAP to Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
And it was done in such a way where a lot of people were like, who is this guy? We're going through this whole discovery period, and now it's like, okay, the women are under the microscope. Now the men are under the microscope because here's what I was able to witness this week. I think he saw the problem with men. And I think that he's like, I got some work to do in this area because this is worse in some cases than women. I think at least with women, at least the women could stay on track more. At least they could answer the direct conversations more. At least they could say what they want more.
See, that woman didn't.
Collectively, collectively.
I would put it like this:
It's
but
neck
go
and
ahead.
neck. I mean, I'm not saying leaps and bounds. I'm just saying fractionally more.
Yeah.
But I think that for me, this was just a total disappointment for the brothers. I'm like, no, don't y'all get and I think he did a really good point because last night he is making it because not very men were wanting to dial in. He's making it like there's a fee now. You got to pay a fee to get up on the throne, which I love. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try that shit out too. But the thing about that is that what did I say? You said refine black women? Is that what you said, Ikis?
Yeah. We need to refine each other overall.
Yeah, we do need to refine each other overall. But I think that, one person shouldn't take the responsibility of doing that for somebody else. You got to look in the mirror and do that.
No, that's both sides. It's internal, external. Yeah. It's all around.
I would say this, man. I guess for me, I see more effective people than within that whole red pill manosphere, whatever era that we're in right now. I see more effective people way more effective than Kevin. They may not be as popular as Kevin, but I see another guy who's like,
what's his name? What's his name?
The channel called The Business, and he goes a lot deeper. And he has talking.
Well, I will say this: as far as I am a red pillar, but as far as Kevin is, I will tell you this: Kevin has co-opted a lot of red pill sentiment. Kevin was not red pill in 2016, 2017, 2018. The red pill has been around probably since 2010. It comes in waves of people come in. But I will tell you this, even though Kevin has co-opted the red pill, he's done more for the cause as far as bringing more eyeballs. He was the first person to revolutionize the watered down message of red pill. Because, it goes way deeper than what Kevin says. I do agree with you, Black Ice. It does go way deeper than what Kevin.
I will agree with you on. He did bring in a lot more exposure. He made it popular.
Exactly. Yeah. He made it. But and if you look through history, when there's a cause, there's always a front man. There's always the people that really are for the cause, and then there's a front man that comes up front that brings visibility to the cause. That's really not the thinker. He's not from the think tank. You know what I mean? He's just the person that co-opted everybody's ideas, and he's the front face for the idea. So I
think that's what I think Kevin is, to be perfect.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. That's who Kevin is. He's reaping a lot of the benefits. You also have some guys like Fresh and Fit that are doing. They're in their corner of the manosphere in the YouTube section, and they're growing like crazy. Like They had 300,000 subscribers in less than a year.
Crazy.
They were able to do that because this red pill stuff is really just catching fire with everybody. So that was my question. So is Kevin Samuels challenging both men and women to be better? That answer for you, Brian,
Yep.
was
I would say yes.
yes.
And I would say yes because after they get that embarrassment, because people have to be uncomfortable in order to get better. That's just how human beings are wired. Once they get, take a, a second, a third, or fourth look to see how crazy they look. Well, damn, you know what? I didn't think about it that way. And then when all of their friends see him, yo, he fucks you up. They'll start to look at things a little differently.
Bro, let me just say this, personally, as far as high value, when you realize men are competitive by nature, when you realize where you don't meet up to all of the standards of high value, that's how he challenged me to be better. And so that challenge, I accepted that challenge. And I feel like if women could get past the tone, they could accept the challenges that he's throwing down their way. And I think that you can't, if two people are the equation of a problem, right? You got you got men and you have women. If you challenge both men and women to be better, that is the answer to the equation. That is the answer that I think we are looking for. It's the challenge to be better. And if we all accept that challenge to be better, then I think you have better outcomes. True or false?
You know what? I think you really showed our differences with what you just said there. You said men are competitors by nature, which is true. Like when it comes to my work, I want to be the best photographer. I want to be the best. I want to have the best YouTube show and what we're doing, right? But when it comes to that, when we come in that atmosphere that you're in right now, I don't compete. I think that's the difference. I don't. Well, I'm in a position now I don't have to, but even before that, I was like, once I realized what my worth is and realized this is not high school anymore. I'm in Atlanta. I'm a straight man. We got our own business and got a head on his shoulders. I'm Buckhead. I'm prime real estate.
But if someone were to come to you and you're on a job, right, and you're doing like a photo shoot for this high $1 million team, right? They're going to pay you $6,000 to do a photo shoot for them over the weekend.
Right.
Someone comes to go to that same team because they're outsourcing people, and they say, you know what, he'll give you $6, but I'll give you $5. Is that not competition?
Yeah, that was saying within my work. Yes, I was competitive when it comes to my work. Now, as far as money, because in the artistic sphere. Like I had people do that to me. They're like, yo, yeah, you said it's 6, but this guy said you do it for 5. Well, I'm better than that 5. So, but you want to do 5, that's you. But because now that I know my worth, I'm not going to go down.
But
I'm not going to drop
my
worth.
I mean, I'm just competitive.
Okay.
I'm competitive that way. Like if I strive to be the best I can be. So let's just say I'm making 100 now, but I strive to next year make 150. Then that's a purpose. That's a thing that drives me.
That's good.
I think Kevin sparks that in a lot of men, and he should. If women could get past that, he could spark it in a lot of women. Why am I not in the gym? Like to be in the gym doesn't just it helps me live longer. It just doesn't help me get a man. It helps my health. It helps me feel better. It helps my mental health and physical health. I just don't see the downside in challenging people to be better, do better.
I agree with you.
Because it takes work.
No, because competing against yourself is healthy. Like competing against yourself is fine. I'm saying I don't compete with other men.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have a standard, right? You have a standard. So if I lift up a standard and say, if I say a high value man makes over $100,000, a high value man is an asset to his clan and to other people around him. If I say a high value man is able to create relationships with people, if I said all of those things, and then if you're lacking in one of those things, as long as you understand that that's a good thing for you, why can't you accept the challenge? It's a standard that's lifted.
One thing that I would say, because I remember I saw a photo of Michael. It was Michael Phelps, and he was swimming, and there was an Oriental. I'm not sure if that's politically correct anymore.
Asian man.
It was an Asian man that that was
This man's-
swimming beside him.
At least they say Oriental.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that since 1987.
They call Ruggs Oriental.
What?
There was an Asian man that was swimming beside Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps was, swimming. He was doing his thing, and the Asian man was looking over and just watching him. And it was basically saying how winners focus on winning, while
right. Like self-improvement is a good thing. It's healthy.
and that's what I would say as far as because I'm not a subscriber to of course feminism or MGTOW or the red pill philosophy, because oftentimes you often see a mindset of feminism wouldn't be what it is if there wasn't complaining about men. The same way MGTOW or the red pill wouldn't be what it is if it weren't for complaining about women. Because the ism, and when it comes to Kevin Samuels being the forefront for these philosophies or this, that, and the third, the ism's been the ism for thousands of years. The ism's been what it's been for long before any of these different names were given onto it. People just took from it. People just took from it and adapted it to whatever lifestyle they had. But the ism's always been the ism, and the big part of it is you can't live your life focusing on obtaining a certain thing. Success is a vague thing, of course.
Depends on the person what success definition of success is.
But if you live your life obtaining a woman, and you get a woman, and it's not what you expect, you're going to be disappointed. If you live your life obtaining to look a certain way, not about health, but just to look a certain way, and you attain it and you don't feel good, all those problems start inward. So the main thing you got to focus on is making sure that you are better than who you were yesterday. And when you focus on that growth and you focus on continuing to
Focus on self.
Focus on self.
That's what I do.
And that's that whole thing.
But, well, I think we're saying the same thing. I think our debate is the catalyst. What's your catalyst? And what I'm telling you is Kevin is a lot of people's catalyst. Sometimes people need to be told a particular thing. They need to be told so that it presents itself as a standard in their mind. It holds a place. I did, so that's my point. I think Kevin, what some people have it already inside and they gonna drive. They didn't need Kevin to tell them that.
Right.
Some people need Kevin to tell them that. Like they needed it. They needed it so it could process. What say you, man?
I think that's spot on. I think that hearing something from let me give you an example. Hearing something from your pastor, it could be the same message, but hearing it from Kevin Samuels, it could resonate differently. Even if they kind of switch up the words a little bit, I think that it could resonate. Just like with me, because I don't think what he's saying is rocket science, but hearing it positioned the way that he has, considering his audience, considering the people who come in and they expose all of these things. Because I realized that a lot of women wanted high value men, but I didn't realize that they were shitting on other brothers the way that they are. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't want them. Yeah. I'm like, but that's all you got to choose from.
But B, put a point right there. B, you didn't realize that?
Well, not to this level.
B, I knew it, man.
Really?
Yes, bro.
Maybe I'm out of the loop.
Hey, see,
man.
Yeah, for me it was like
B.
you all have the audacity to complain, and here's it because and maybe I'm seeing it that way because so many women with I don't need a man, or what is this? Oh, I don't want to get married, or I'm good. I'm good by myself.
B, that's a cope. That's a cope.
I see it now.
You, what I came to understand years ago was that's a cope. They really do want a man, but because they're not finding the kind of man that they want, then they're coping by saying,
"Absolutely,
I don't need a man. I'm good." I'm telling you, man, that's what I've seen.
I see. It took me seeing it in this context because when you watch something on mass media, TV, whatever, all of that stuff is produced and watered down. Like this is like a real conversation. And a lot of people, they don't ask those conversations in a way that the other person is accountable. It's
Very
always catering to that ego just to be able to massage the person. You don't really get to the nitty gritty. That's why I didn't recognize it before in the way that I do since the show came out or his show came out.
Which brings up a good point. Which brings up Ice
solution.
Well, Ice and Akeith says that that's not the state of the woman. They say that that's really only those people that are calling in.
That's bullshit.
Would you agree or not?
It's too consistent for it to be those people.
Am I missing something, guys? I mean,
no. This is every single scenario.
Yeah, no, I didn't. No, as far as at the state of women being like, we live in a society where they want to do what they want to do without accountability.
Right.
That's standard across the board. I'm not saying that's particularly just for them. Yeah.
Okay.
So
the way I understood what you were saying earlier in the conversation was that the people that were calling in were only indicative of those thoughts and those ways of doing things.
No,
is that not what you were saying?
No, I was talking about as far as the show is not going to be an accurate example of the whole populace, but of course there's going to be people that is a sentiment across the society, but the show amplifies it.
I mean, nothing's absolute. My point that I was making earlier was it was way bigger than what y'all thought. It was a lot. That population of people is, and I'm basically saying the same thing that Brian was saying, that it's a problem. It resonates with a million people, and people are like, and I'm telling you, like, as a person on the ground, be everybody. I don't know, Ice. I don't know if you or Keith are married, but I mean, as a single black man out here, heterosexual black man, I'm seeing it. Like, so that's why it resonates with me. So on one side, I would say my gravitation to people like Kevin Samuels is yes, he has challenged me to be better in every aspect of my life. But on the other hand, I am also getting real world experience that I have already identified with.
Well,
but I get to see it.
Do you think part of the problem is both sides playing the field a little too long?
Bro, I'm just gonna tell you, I think that men are way more forgiving of faults of women. Men are way more likely to date down. They don't have to date somebody of their own, education level of or social status. Men are, if you cute, if you got something I like about you, McDonald's girl, come on with me. Right. Jump in the Range Rover. Let's run. Women are way less likely to do that. They are way more picky about who they are with. Well, and I think that is causing I think that's causing an issue. We already know that black women are the most educated demographic in the United States. So they're getting high education, PhDs, and then they're saying, "Who's around here with me? What man can I marry that's a PhD?" Brothers ain't getting PhDs. Brothers are getting undergrads if they get that, and then they're moving on into the workforce.
We don't even graduate from college at that rate. No. Like we are, I think, the 16%.
But also, you think about it when the woman decides to be, like, say, get a PhD or be a doctor, you're already making decisions where you're going to be single or married at that point. Because, and I'm saying that because being a doctor is what, like 10 years? Yeah. So you talk about by the time you become a doctor, you damn near 30 by that point. You setting your ways by that point.
Yeah.
So by that point, you kind of like, you kind of made it, and then you studying so hard to be a good doctor, you ain't trying to entertain anybody during that time. So by the time you turn 30, after you achieve your goal, all right, I'm ready to date now. That way you kind of stuck out in the cold.
Fellas, have you ever heard of the 80-20 rule?
Yep.
As it applies to men and women?
Yeah.
And what it says is, a lot of people say that it's 80% of 20% of women. No, they say that 80% of They said okay. They say that 80% of women only want to date the 20% of men. But what they should what people are saying now is a caveat to that. They're saying that only 20. They're saying that 100% of women only want to date the 20% of men. So let that sink in. That means every woman, 100%. Only the women that are only of men of decent value, that looks a certain way, that acts a certain way, they're only wanting that 20% of men, and the rest of men are just going by the wayside and being single when they're not wanting to be single.
There's a difference between wanting and what you actually get.
I'm about to say, if it's 20-1, so you got 100% of women going for this 20%, it could be a whole lot of women left out.
Bro,
that's why they're single.
And it's a whole lot of women that without. If you Match.com did a basically a audit of all of their numbers, and the 80-20 rule bared out that what they found out was all of the women was only going behind. They were only swiping right or liking 20% of the guys. Everybody else was going unliked.
Yo, question for you. Based off that, do you believe that you have to be a part of that 20% in order to get a piece of that 100%?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely, you do.
Say, I went Brian.
Piece of the 100% of the women that are eligible.
If you saying 100%, if you saying 100% only want that top tier, high value 20% man
of men,
do you feel like you have to compete to get one of them?
No,
at that 20%. See, I agree with Brian. You know, you don't.
Yeah,
you sit back. Serious. I mean, because
no. Wait. So let me get this. I'm saying you're saying if you're already a 20% man, do you have to
be at 20%? See, I feel like Kevin are telling people that you had to be part of that 20% to get.
I am telling you, fellas. I am telling you that these women are willing to die alone. They are willing to be by themselves with the dog. They are willing. If that man doesn't come, that the one that they want, they will walk away.
Yep.
I am telling you.
The reason I disagree with you, because one thing they're scared of more than not getting part of that 20% is dying alone.
But see, okay, so Tawana that's in the comments, I can say that she's not like that. She does not have to have a guy who is a high value dude. I will say is that she is the one with the hustle. She's the one with the drive. And so because she doesn't have to have that kind of guy, she's probably going to attract someone who she has to curse out a few times that I've been a witness to. And it has been the funniest thing in the world to me.
Here's another thing. Here's another reason why I agree with that.
So I'm just saying. We know.
Okay, that's your homie. I got you.
I can put it in the spot like that.
Here's the reason I think I disagree with Steve. If that's the case, then why there's so many single mothers with men they don't want to claim? If they that caught up in getting that only the 20%, then how they get stuck with that child then that they didn't want from some bum dude?
No. So here's the thing: the 80-20 rule also applies. Guess what? Only 20% of men are having children by the 100% of women. It bears out in the stats. That's what they're finding out. I'm telling you, that's what they're finding out.
For example, the girl that called in, the chick, she thought she only want that 20%, but she said she has a 13-year-old child. I'm pretty sure that father wasn't at 20% because she didn't even want to claim him. So they ain't holding steady for that only.
So Ice, what makes a man become 20%?
That's a good question.
Now, if a man in his younger years is very attractive, you got to understand what women are attracted to when they're younger. They're not looking for necessary money when they're looking for what they call the Giga Chad or the Tyrone. They're looking for the guy who is visually attracted to. But we as guys know that guy might not be no good for you. He might get you pregnant and run off.
So you're saying they're not looking for 20% to is way too late for them?
Well, no, I'm telling you that a very attractive man is in the 20%. That so
that's no problem.
yeah, bro. So no. Listen to what we're saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying the thing that makes you attractive is the thing that puts you in the 20%. What are things that are women that are attracted to? Women are attracted to looks. Men that look a certain way, they're attracted to money, and they're attracted to status. So if you have one of those three things, then you become part of the 20%. If you have all of those three things, you're part of the 1%.
So does the 20% oscillate depending on the different age groups?
Right. Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm saying that an attractive man can get a lot of things, just like an attractive woman.
You don't have to be attracted to be 20%. It's a lot of attractive.
No. We're talking about attraction right now. No, you don't have to be. You could be wealthy. You could have status. You can be. So a lot of rappers aren't attractive, but they have status. They have wealth. It doesn't. So if you have one of those two things, yes, it puts you in the 20%. Yes, it gives you a higher sexual market value, and yes, women will want to sleep with you.
So you saying women will hold steady for that particular percentile or die alone?
Yes, I am telling you. I am telling you until more than likely until they get 6 years old, and then it don't matter. Then they become invisible.
I know a lot of bum ass niggas on my block right now. They got kids. Somehow they knock it down.
Bro, listen to me, man. I'm telling you that a young woman is not a young woman. Her attraction is not money. It's not the attraction as a 30-year-old woman. So what she sees in that man that makes him part of the 20% is the thing that she's attracted to. That
is a handsome guy that she just let knock down.
Bro, listen to me. 3 things women are attracted to. Listen. Attraction, they're attracted to somebody that's handsome.
Mm-hmm.
They're attracted to money. Mm-hmm. And they're attracted to power, to social status. Mm-hmm. If you're in one of those 3, you're automatically in the 20%.
You see what Tawana says, right?
What's she saying?
Y'all looking for perfection. That's another problem too. Because looking for perfection, we're not perfect.
What did Tawana say?
She said.
Oh, let's see. We'll dial alone before we put up with that stress.
Yes, Steve. We were there.
Lies. I go on social media right now, and they got a new boo every 2 months.
Ice. I'll tell you this. I will say this. As women get older, I will say that they start loosening up the reins a little bit. I will say that. You got me there.
Yep. That's right, ladies. The air mattress doesn't look so bad after 45, does it?
That's all what you do, man. I do what you keep on.
We talking to one. Ain't nobody else on here. We just talking to ourselves.
Well, listen, they'll see the replay. They'll catch the replay.
Right, they will. This is funny.
Oh man, that's funny.
I will say that, man. I mean, I think that there's
But I like the fact. I mean, it's good that we have healthy disagreements, though. I mean,
it's all good.
It'd be boring if you all felt exactly the same thing.
Oh yeah, we'll be like, oh, I agree. You agree?
Yeah.
I concur, doctor. I concur.
Oh man!
All right, man. The last thing I wanted to bring up before we close out, man. What do y'all think about the constant barrage of people calling this man gay?
Don't get me started on this.
Why does black women do this to black men, bro? Cut it out. Cut it out.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I see a lot of people like him in Atlanta. I'll put it like that.
You see a lot of people like him in Atlanta? Is that what you said?
That's what he said.
Okay.
That's saying he's like that. I'm just saying he do remind me of a lot.
Okay, tell me what quote unquote like him means. Let's talk.
Well, I say his mannerisms and like
he's a very particular man.
Yeah, like he loved his Red Bull with his straw.
Mannerism, bro. I don't see it, man. But it is what it is.
he do.
And he was a fashion consultant. He's always been
Right. Trust me, bro. I worked in the fashion industry, bro. Ain't not that many straight male fashion stylists, bro. Just be honest. I'm not saying they all like that. The saying is very few. So I said, well, but
okay. What's wrong? Can we talk about? Can we discuss?
Now, to your defense, though, Steve. To your defense, though, I think a lot of women saying that just to throw hate. They're not being objective. They're just doing that just to try to discredit him or whatever.
Right.
We come from a different space. Yeah, saying that. We're not saying that to down.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
But I do agree that a lot of women do that just to try to throw salt on them, and that's what they're trying to justify. Like him, like the men in the bed situation. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They were looking for any reason.
They went way too hard on that, man. That was so weird. That man was froze back then.
And they were like, I told you.
Look,
that's crazy.
Of course, we're indifferent to who the man likes to lie up with.
Yeah.
But it does. It would, if you were like that, it would play a part to his credibility in a way. But let me just say that we do come across a lot of folks like that.
You do
out here, and if you've ever seen a picture of him when he was younger, he
old Fred high school photo yearbook photo. Yeah, we did see some.
But y'all, it was the 80s, man. A lot of people was wearing. If you go to the NBA, they was wearing them short booty cutters. In the NBA, they had all kind of stuff going on. Look, you had Prince in it. You had Prince in the what was his group called? They had them blouses. You got that blouse, and you know you ain't get it from the women's department. I mean, you know.
We watched some of his old videos too. Like we didn't see the photo. We saw some old videos.
Yeah,
have you seen his old videos? Like his old.
No,
videos?
I haven't. I haven't.
Trust me. It's not the KBC today. Nah, it's night and day. You wouldn't even recognize the man in the old video.
I thought the cat was gonna start voguing.
Out, bro.
Hey, look. If you're so serious,
I want to see that video. Do you got the video? You can put it on the live. Can you put it on the live?
Yeah. We came across it randomly.
Nah, it was one of them.
It was another red pill guy.
Yeah,
and he found it.
Yeah, he was going through.
Wait, was he doing this show or this is a random video from a long time ago? Was he doing the Kevin?
I guess the show kind of.
So what? We talking to maybe 5-6 years ago or something?
Maybe
5-6 years ago.
Oh well, he only been on. I think he only been on the thing for like 4 years. The platform.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, you look at some of the first shows. Well, like any other show, like even with our show progressed a lot over the past year.
Right.
So we like come from. We clown him. We come from different space. We ain't trying to. You know what I'm saying? We were saying,
but man,
he wasn't smooth at all. He was very. Somebody take him to your grandma's house. Like
man, Keith said he thought that man was gonna start voguing. Man, that was out of order.
He did. Like he didn't have the clean suit on. He had a clean background like that. He had like this old fashioned antique background. Yeah. He had this weird looking outfit. Like he didn't like he about to vogue though, for real.
He did.
He did.
I want to see that. Y'all got the video? Can you put it up, Steve?
Let me see if I can. I'm gonna go to his channel and you can go all the way to the beginning. Let's see if I can run it.
Some crystal water.
Wow.
That man said he thought that man gonna start voguing.
But you know what? While you look for that, I want to get in on this question too, because I put this question on my page, and actually this kind of inspired that, because I was trying to see what the pulse is and what people were thinking about. But number one, like you all mentioned, I don't like when people weaponize black men by using gay as if that is some sort of an insult or some sort of a way to take away or emasculate us. There's no one way to be a black man, whether you're gay, straight, feminine, masculine. He's still a black man at the end of the day. If he says he's heterosexual, he says he's heterosexual. I know people right now who were born male but identify as female. He can identify with whatever he want to identify with. My question is what he's saying the truth? is what he's saying. Does it resonate?
I think
I don't care about all of that other stuff.
Yeah, but what do his viewers, what do his fans think though? Like, so let's say tomorrow he's like, you know what? He came out the closet. You think you think his fans still feel the same way about him?
Right.
I think people who are, I mean, because one of the things he also mentioned is that he's not trying to take over the world. He just has a core audience that he's focusing on. Those people are going to ride with him regardless.
Mm. Well, I think,
I'm not sure. That's why I asked, because I'm not sure if they would or not.
I think it's one of those things where if he were that way, it would kind of mess with his credibility because people are looking.
That's
at him
true. I think it would. I think it would. Yeah, that's the background.
Yeah, a straight black man who's invested in black women as a straight black man.
Yeah,
so it would.
I think it would mess with his credibility too.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's check it out. Let's see what's
3,
happening.
4, 5, 6, 7. Welcome to another edition of Life and Style by Kevin Samuels again. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go ahead and
Is this your king? Is this your king?
Please.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, man. Hold on.
And just we keep bringing this great content to you. Today, I have a very good fragrance that I want to review for you. It comes from the house of Terry Mugler, and it is called Pure Havana. Honestly, it's like Havana, Cuba. This fragrance is one of the best flanker fragrances of the Amen collection.
Flagrant.
Okay. I will not bother you with all the top notes, middle notes, and bottom notes in it. But what I will tell you is this. This fragrance is tobacco, cherry, honey, sweet, warm, spicy.
I'm sorry, dude.
Awesome.
You can't tell me. You get fun on this
summer
one.
night.
Hello, man.
This fragrance.
Hello, man. Hold on.
Day night. It's appropriate. It's non-offensive. Just be careful on the trigger at nighttime because
Put your camera back on, Steve.
When you get over 100 degrees, you don't have to worry much about it.
They joning this man so bad.
Along with his brother, Peter Malt, it's a toss-up to me between.
Look at the handkerchief, bro. That thing bigger than him. Bro, this 2016, bro. He's not 2000.
It's 2016, bro. It's 5 years ago.
And honey,
and the women love
the
it.
bottom note.
Bro, y'all need.
Like by Killian, Back to Black, if you ask me.
All right, bro. Y'all
Okay,
can
we
wait
got
to
it.
stop the video, bro. Golly.
Well,
I'm sorry.
All right, B, go ahead.
so here's what I say. But okay, so to me, I'm getting a very church vibe. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of these old school brothers that grew up in the rural part of the country, that's how they act. That's how they act.
Hey, man, that man ain't cozy. Stop saying that, bro. We cozy, man.
Hey,
Bro, I
I'm
didn't
getting
dress like that when in 2016, bro.
No,
He's an older man that's trying to dress snazzy, and he got it wrong. He got that wrong because that's not right. Even for 2016, it ain't right.
When I was living in Jackson, I had a roommate who was Kojic and an Alpha, and he dressed just like that.
See?
Lies, man. What year was that, bro?
And that was 2008. He was just like that.
Oh, bro, that was 2008. We did not dress like that in 2016, bro.
Some of these dudes are like that. When you get into like Iowa and Kansas, he said he was from Oklahoma. So, you know, a lot of these guys, these especially, you know, all they do is go to church.
I didn't know that. He from Oklahoma.
Yeah, he's from Oklahoma.
That's what I get. I don't really get anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't get anything else.
You could tell he was a lot skinnier then. That was 5 years ago. He was a lot skinnier. He didn't have the snaz, so he definitely had somebody definitely made him over.
Yeah, he's missing his balls.
You're all clowning him. But
y'all clowning him so bad, man.
That's how it is. You get you a passport, you go see the world, you make changes, you know. Is anybody how they used to be 5 years ago?
Nah.
You know?
Water going in.
I don't even think he's metrosexual. I think that was an attempt to do something that I'm glad it took him 5 years to understand.
He was trying to dress snazzy, man, but he missed the boat. That is the wrong. But he missed the boat. But listen, bro, he missed the boat. What Kevin should.
The fragrance.
What Kevin should understand about fashion, man, is keep it classic, man. The classic styles they always. What he was trying to do in 2016, that was terrible.
That was Oklahoma classic.
Look,
Bro, that was not classic, man. That looked crazy.
We could pull something off.
That looked crazy.
Yeah. Fonz Bentley, that's classic.
Yeah, it was a little dated, but I didn't really get anything out of it, other than, but he's did a 180.
Yeah, he
did a 180.
Yeah,
he's done a 180.
He
did 180. So all right, guys. So what say you about this issue of people calling him? And the man has said so many times, bro, I'm not gay. Why y'all trying to put that on me? I'm not gay. Stop trying to tell me. And here's the interesting thing. The interesting thing is Kevin brings up the point that the LGBTQ right should be really outraged that people throwing that slander on him, because it reflects directly upon them. And so he's really he said this on Vlad that it's interesting that they're not saying anything. Defending, and that's an interesting dichotomy. Even when you talk about black women and gay men all the time, because a lot of black women they throw that slander out, even though their best friends are gay, as if it's some kind of cognitive dissonance as to what they're saying as a slander and their friend who they love. So
I mean honestly, but the black gay community still are still programmed by white society, by the white alphabet community.
Right.
They only mad at what white people are mad at, what the white gay people are mad at.
Same.
Like, I'll just be honest. Like, you look at all the times that it's been black gay outrage, only because it was white gay outrage first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They follow their lead. You know what I'm saying? Go back to it's still the dominant society mentality.
Yeah.
Even here in Atlanta, the same thing. Like we have a black pride, but they still show up for the regular pride in October. But they're gonna follow behind them.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So no matter if you conservative, liberal, gay, straight, they're always gonna be white first.
Yeah.
Because it's still racism within the gay community.
Oh.
What do you feel about the need to co-opt black people into their struggle?
What you mean?
Well, it would seem like if it's only, if it's white first, then why do they make such an effort to co-opt black people of that ilk into their struggle?
It's called assimilation. We assimilate to their culture, not the other way around.
Yeah, and it's
no. It seems like white people are really making it a point to.
I can tell you,
maybe that's where the energy is. Maybe that was, maybe I answered my own question. Maybe they feel like black energy is what they need.
Trust me, bro.
Even if you're talking about feminism, even if you're talking about first wave feminism. Well, second wave feminism is when they started co-opting black women. Did they have to, or did they need the energy of black women?
No, white women are worse than the white man.
What it was?
I understand that, but my question is, why is it necessary for them to co-opt the black?
The reason they did that. We did a history lesson on that. The reason they did that because they were so offended that black males about to get the right to vote before white women did.
Yeah,
that was the whole point. They was because they felt empathy for the black women. They never cared for black women. To this day, they don't care for black women. Right. We just showed an article where black women were staying at home and white women were so offended they went to the city council and made a black women could work for them.
Yeah,
they never liked them.
When it comes to co-oping or using black folk for their cause, it's a double-edged sword because it allows them to have more strength in numbers, because we are seen as the forerunners of civil rights. So they have more strength in numbers, and they're like, you see, they're backing us. Mm-hmm. While in the meantime, we take on whatever doctrine that they're putting in us,
assimilating to their mindset,
and then pushing in our community, and it caused us to break down.
Yeah, and same thing with the gay community here. We see trust me, bro. They still white first. There's still a lot of racism between even in the gay community.
I don't doubt it. I don't
You know
doubt.
what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to think about, because look who raised those gay people. Who raised the white gays?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It still came from the same families.
Right.
So the same mindset is still there. They're just a little bit more liberal about it. They tolerate it, but they still don't want a black person on top of them, or they want to be equal to them
Exactly.
at all. Yeah, so it's still there. Yeah, so, but that's why you and Hero speaking out, taking up for Kevin. If the white gays not mad about it, they're not mad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. It's like that, but I mean,
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Black folk
B, what
overall.
say you? Y'all, we coming on 3 hours. We got to get out of here.
I know, right?
Yeah,
You are ahead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and y'all are. So it's 12:30 in Atlanta, huh?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
I'll make my comment quick in that case. Starting with the feminists. Wow, I think the feminists was probably the reason why, Kevin Samuels is even as big as what he is. So he maybe on some level he should thank them, because there was this co-opting that we're talking about. Buying into that co-opting is a reason why there's such a friction between the dynamics in our relationship. And, they can't say that because none of those bitches showed up for Sandra Bland. That they showed up for the young lady who got killed. I forget her name. Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
What were they at? How many times were they out? How many meetings and organizations within that particular those organizations and that entity showed up for? Let's just start with those two.
Right.
That mentality has, it can't just stay there. It has to work itself through those different intersections that they try to get us to co-opt and pay this intricate affiliation with them on.
They push intersectionality with us, but they don't do it themselves.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We were saying that. We say integration, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They push it on us, but they don't practice it themselves.
Right.
And the other thing that he was saying, I think that he should have a day. I wouldn't even say a week, a day, and call these gay people out on some of the things, because I think he brings up an excellent point. Because if it were a black trans woman being misgendered, these motherfuckers would be all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The hypocrisy is what annoys me more than anything.
Yeah.
That's why I pick and choose the people that I want to have relationships with, and I'll end on that.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel that.
All right, man. We are going to wrap it up. So we're going to give the opportunity for everybody to kind of say their lasting ending thoughts about what we talked about tonight. Kevin Samuels, his effect on the black community, or the nation as a whole. I think that Kevin was able to take advantage of a particular time where we were all at home, and he took it and ran with it, which is what anybody should do when they have an opportunity. And that's what I'm saying. Let's go with you, Black Ice. What you thinking?
Yeah, I agree. I just see him as an entertainer. I mean, and he entertains his audience. Me personally, I mean, he's not for me personally, but I see his appeal. I see why people watch him. But do I see him as a benefit to our community? No, I don't. No, to be honest. But I think it's something funny to watch every now and then, though. And that's just for me.
Yeah.
Keith, what you got?
Truly, I mean, I'm more or less indifferent to the man.
Yeah.
But but it's one of those things where I see he has a bit of sway in the community. Not really. I'm not sure if it's for. I mean, I don't think it's for good. But I don't think it's with malice or anything like that. It's just
Popularity.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like a thing of clout to me. You know what I mean? The man has he has a platform. He's using that platform. He's making his money. He's getting appearances on the Joe Budden podcast and all.
Glad. Get your money back, man.
Yeah.
Jumper. No jumper.
Yeah.
Jumper.
Yeah, big following too.
So I'll just repeat that sentiment. Get your money, black man.
Okay. B, what you got?
Wow, man, this has been an interesting 3 hours. I'm glad to be a part of
Jeez, man,
this
3
platform
hours.
again.
Jeez, Louise. I didn't mean to hold y'all this long, man.
Yeah, man. You know, it was brought up that black people are not a monolith, which means that we have to have all hands on deck to have whatever kind of influence to push people in a way that is going to be instrumental in their growth and development. I think, as we have seen, you know, in the past 3 years since, you know, he started his channel, and then definitely recently within the last year, how much development we need, because I see that we need to operate at a desperate level, especially if we have a significant amount of people who operate that way. The other thing is that when it comes to, you know, challenging people, that needs to be done on you know, the male side, the female side. But as a man, I'm going to say that I look forward to him doing more shows on the level of urgency that he has used to focus on with women, because we talk about leadership. Let's redirect some of that focus back to us so we can get these motherfuckers together. The other thing is that, you know, closing out with the last comments and people calling him gay and things like that, and trying to challenge his credibility. Oh, well, you know, you're not this, and you've been divorced, and you know, what do you know? You're not a psychiatrist. Is what he's saying does it make sense? Is it telling the truth? You know, people may focus on his tone, but it's causing you to listen. Are you listening obstructively, or are you listening to be critical? I think these are all things that we have to examine within ourselves. If the message resonates with us or not, are you taking the gems that have been dropped to move forward? And that's all I got.
If it don't apply, then let it fly.
That's it.
Well, guys,
It's been
for
fun,
those,
man.
no, nobody. Who am I kidding? Nobody stuck with us out of 3 hours, but like, that's cool. That's
Tawana
cool.
was here
And
most of the time.
Tawana, you are a soldier.
man.
Black woman holding us down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. I feel you. We appreciate you for hanging in with us. If you're watching this on the replay, hello. But we're about to go now. So I don't know if you skipped through or what, but we appreciate you for watching it on the replay. I did also stream it to YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you. Wait, we got a great show. We appreciate you, Tawana. I know B Reveals was going after you, but I'm gonna protect you. Don't worry.
That's not me. That was definitely right here.
White
Right
Knight. They
I
call
was
me
there.
White Knight.
Tawana has a very tight grip on the headlock, so there's no way I would go after her.
Oh wow.
No way.
Okay, I got you. Just kidding. But we appreciate you guys. Hang on. We're gonna end the broadcast, but I just want to talk to y'all before we end it. So thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.
Peace.